Don't people know that this is happening to them? I mean,
Oh, they do know. So classically in our we with early reporting of issues. People tend to still hold on to traditional ways of treatment, wrong perceptions to diseases and stuff. So they only report if it gets really bad. Either maybe there's pain and or what happens classically is that initially it's reducible. So it comes and goes. Yes, and there's no pain. So 1/3 of the cases are asymptomatic. Asymptomatic is without any symptoms. So they are freely moving about, carrying out their normal daily activities. So if something doesn't happen to prompt them, and classically it's pain, we only tend to feel sick when there is pain.
so you're walking around with huge testicles, but you're not feeling pain, and you think it's okay.
Yeah.
Wow. You cannot walk. I mean, this is able to walk.
Yeah, he's able to support himself. He will probably wear some fitting pants or briefs or something to get hold it.
Wow. And when it gets to this stage, what are the options?
Yeah, so typically the treatment is, okay, so it also depends on what kind of symptoms you are presenting with. You could do what we call a watchful waiting. But so watchful waiting is like the person doesn't really have that, it's not that bad, it's just something small, comes and goes, it's not really giving many, the quality of life is fine, there is no pain, there are no issues. So you could watch and wait. However, watchful waiting is just, you I guess postponing an inevitable surgery. Because from the studies that have shown, so there was once there's a study that was published in the New England Journal of Medicine about so there was a randomized control trial, I think one in the UK and one in North America. The UK was like about, I think, 160 people. The American was like about 720 people, and they realized that the crossover. So when you say crossover from watchful waiting to surgery, so classically about 70 to 80% of them within a 10-year range would all cross over to surgery. So watchful waiting is just, I guess, delaying an inevitable surgery. And the treatment for hernias is surgical. Yeah.
How would I know that something is happening to me and it could be a hernia?
Okay, so you should be well accustomed to your body. One, to know when something begins to deviate from the norm. Classically, what you would find is that you would find, first of all, a swelling or a bulge at a certain region of your body. So if you are dealing with an abdominal hernia, you bulge on your torso, or should I say your abdominal region. You find the bulge. Initially,
would it be painful?
Initially, it's not painful.
Okay.
Initially, it's not painful. So it could even be your belly button. I'm sure you've seen kids walking around when they cough or they cry. Yes, it distends. So it distends and it results. When there's exertion, when they are angry, they are crying, they are shouting, the thing protrudes, and when they are calm, it goes back. If it's a groin or inguinal hernia, when they lie down, it goes back. And then when they get up, they are running, they are active, it comes back. Okay, and some also develop mechanisms to push it back themselves.
Oh, really?
Yes. So this on and off thing will be going on for a while, so it gets trapped. Okay, it gets trapped wherever it is, and it doesn't go back again. So when it starts going, then you could have the pain coming in, and
because it's pressing on some other organs?
Yes, it's pressing on some other structures. Okay, and then after a while, the vessels and the nerves that supply them become so constricted that they become occluded. And then you'll have whatever organ
occluded mean?
Cut off.
Okay.
So, for example, like they say, if the power supply gets cut off here, the lights will go off.
Yeah.
Excellent. So when the power supply to whatever organ you're dealing with is cut off, the power in that organ would go off, and that organ would die.
Oof.
Yes.
Any hope of resurrection?
So it depends. It depends on what time they present. So if it dies off, maybe let's say at this time, maybe we present maybe the next day, it might be too late. But if you present now, like I say, it happens now, you present now, okay, there's a slight chance of resolution. Yes. So we typically want to treat or manage hernias when it's not an emergency. Also because of the nature of our medical system. You come into the emergency, you moving from the emergency to the ward, you moving from the ward to theater, all that back and forth and everything. So we want to do it on an elective basis where everybody is calm. We can go up and down, sort it out, and then you can go home, calmly, and everybody is happy. Yeah.
Okay, we'll be happy to take your messages on hernias and the causes, symptoms, treatment options. 055-556-1034. 055-556-1034. Dr. Omani Achamfo Okra is here with me to talk about hernia, which is quite a common problem with men. How about women? Do women get hernias too?
Women also get hernias. In the same regions that men get them, because the women have their incidence is less. Yes, incidence.
What's the most unusual case of a woman with a hernia that you have seen?
Okay, all of them are usual. Okay, maybe probably is how we are also taught to think. So that's what I said. Most of the cases that you would find with hernias are men. But then women also have hernias in the same place.
And how young is the youngest cases that you've seen for men and women?
So the thing is, we have natural, or how do I describe it? Natural defects, or the way that we develop embryologically, okay, from the womb to and we are born. There are natural pathways in the body that predispose us to have hernias. Okay, so the classic pathway for the inguinal or groin hernia is the testes develop somewhere, we call it the genital ridge, in the posterior abdomen, just close to the kidneys. So you know where the your kidneys are?
Somewhere around the back.
Yes, so that's where the testes form. And they have to move all the way down to where your scrotum is. Okay, so as it moves...
The scrotum is the sac?
The scrotum is
where the balls are?
Where the balls are.
Okay.
Yes, So it has to move all the way down through that path, and it creates sort of like a conduit, like a channel into the scrotum. So within that part is like a natural defect or a natural way in which you could have hernias. So you could have hernias even in children, babies, 6 months, 1 month, 1 year, and you might have to operate.
Okay.
Yes. You could have like you've seen umbilical hernias in children. Yes. So you could also have that. So classically in our setting we have a lot of umbilical cord sepsis. So infection of the belly button in babies, we have quite a high number. Africa has a high infection rate. We have lots of germs around. We have there are germs everywhere. However, our infection prevention measures are not, shall I say, usually checked and controlled, such that we have our infection rate is higher. Yes.
We're not too careful about cleaning things up.
We are not. You could walk around the streets of Accra and you see a reflection of the society.
Okay. Yeah. And so I'm just looking. I still can't get my head around the picture of the gentleman who I'm seeing on the screen. There was a huge. I mean, so when it happens like that, it's only surgery, right?
Yeah, only surgery.
That must affect the ability to urinate.
Yes. So it can, because it begins to compress on several structures. It could also eventually affect sexual function, because the vessels that go down all the way to the testes move within that same pathway. So
but where is the penis even to have the sex? Where is the penis? Here. Where's the penis?
Yeah.
Is it there?
It's there. If you look.
What
closely,
are we looking at now? What are we looking at?
So you are looking at a groin hernia, probably an indirect hernia, and then you see on the side there's this small structure that looks like the penis, like it's on
which side? On his left or his right?
His right side.
His right side.
Yes, his right side. You see it on the
closer to his waist.
Yeah, closer to his waist.
That's
yes.
where the penis is.
Yes.
So this big structure there is what? Is his organs have descended into what?
Descended into the sac.
So this is
so it's descended all the way into the scrotum.
So this is his scrotum which has been enlarged like this.
Yes, this is scrotum. See, like I was saying that the testes move all the way from the posterior into the scrotum. So in about 20% of men, okay, you have a small pouch that is formed somewhere within the groin. So we call something predisposing factors and then precipitating factors. So predisposing factors is like that normal pathway. It's the predisposing factor sets up the stage or sets up the risk factor, and the precipitating factor triggers the event. So the predisposing factor is you could have that. There may be the precipitating factor is maybe you lift heavy metals. Okay. You have a bad cough. You are constipated.
A bad cough can get you a hernia.
Yeah, a bad cough can get you a hernia.
How about suppressing a cough or a sneeze? Instead of allowing it to go on, you just hold your nose or something. Can that cause you harm?
So the thing is, anything that increases intra-abdominal pressure.
Okay.
So if, for example, you easily get angry, okay, and what makes you angry is maybe someone moving something, or maybe someone pressing the middle portion of the toothpaste instead of the down portion.
The anger can cause.
So
wow.
that you're easily getting angry is a predisposition. Then the trigger is the person using that part of the toothpaste. Okay. So whatever happens, if that toothpaste is triggered, you would have the hernia. So if the predisposition is there and you increase your intra-abdominal pressure, you're likely to have a hernia.
And before we get the messages, the thing about weights or lifting heavy things. So what actually makes it likely for you to get a hernia if you don't if you lift heavy weights? So
as I said, there's already a predisposition. So that pathway, for example, with the groin hernias, that pathway must close by 2 to 3 years. In 30% of people, it doesn't close well. Okay, so, and as I said, in 20% of adults, you have a small pouch just waiting for something to push it. So when you increase your intra-abdominal pressure, you're lifting something, you're increasing your pressure, already gravity is acting on your body. Okay.
Yes.
And now you are adding more weight onto the body. So now it pushes the abdominal contents downwards. So once it's pushed, it tries to look for where
to get out.
Yes, it's like water must find this level.
Definitely.
So if it pushes, it keeps pushing, and one day it gets finds its level.
So bodybuilders, weightlifters are at risk. People who do squats and are not really careful about how they do it. Okay, bodybuilders, be careful. Yeah, this is a real thing, man. What I've seen this morning has scared the bejesus out of me. She's not scary. Quite attractive. Rahima.
Yes. You were scary on Friday, but not today.
Give us messages. 755-556-1034.
Thank you, Cap. Yes. So messages sent by people who are watching us represent their own views and not the views of GBC. GTV Breakfast Show, you are the best among all. Keep raising the motherland higher. Good morning, Cafe. Please ask the man that I have been seeing my testicles longer than my penis. Is that also a symptom of hernia?
Should testicles be longer than penises?
No. So testicles should not be longer than penises. Would have to have a full examination to know whether exactly whether it is a hernia or it is a testicular swelling.
I thought dangling balls were a sign of good health.
Yes, so
they should be far away from the body as possible.
Yes, the ball should be far away as from the body as possible. But he's from what he's talking about. I think he's talking about that the length of the testes.
Okay, all right.
So sometimes what happens is that there's a small bulge into the scrotum. Should I say the inguinal into the scrotum, and you would sort of see it like a whole continuum of testes.
All right. So
so I think he should visit the hospital and we'll be able to ascertain what exactly.
All right, T.
Okay, more messages. Mina Hunter, please, I'd like to know if there are certain foods that when taken can trigger hernia, and which blood types are more prone to getting hernia. Is there any natural remedy to alleviate the condition? Mina Hunter Franco from New Edibiase.
Okay, so from what I know, not necessarily in terms of food, not necessarily in terms of blood type, and no. So the
natural remedies.
Yes, so that's our main problem, the natural remedies. I think for a large portion of our population, we don't like the truth that this condition can be managed only surgically. We don't like that. We like me telling you that, okay, there's something that if you take and you take, it will go.
What have people been taking? What have you heard in your practice?
So many. If you sit on a VIP bus, or you have so many from this, I can't remember some of them offered, but there are several.
It's like herbs, potions,
herbal leaves, this, that.
Any ointments that people have?
Ointments you apply over it. So usually the people that come with those big hernias, they've been applying things for several years.
Please don't apply anything. Please. This is education.
More messages. Good morning. Is hernia genetic? If a woman has a swollen cervix, could it be hernia?
A swollen cervix could usually something different. Hernia, you could have what we call a familial predisposition, or so like it could have maybe. It could run more in certain families. And as I said, we all have sort of like an embryological or developmental predisposition, and some could add more to that.
Okay.
2022 is asking, good morning, Catherine team. I want to ask the doctor, is there any medicine to calm this
surgery?
Surgery is the medicine.
Down?
Surgery
is the medicine. Can a woman get hernia? They asked about weightlifting previously, but you had already talked about it. But can too much sex also cause hernia?
So it depends on how the sex occurs. So if the sex involves a lot of raising intra-abdominal pressure.
What kind of sex will cause abdominal pressure to be raised?
I don't know.
You just said it.
Yeah, but I don't know. If straining.
Okay. All right.
Straining.
Okay.
So straining raises your intra-abdominal pressure.
How about constipation?
Okay, so I mentioned constipation.
Okay.
So any form of thing that would cause you to strain, like so one day you didn't and something gets pop up.
Whoa! Eat more bananas, please.
And
less bread.
Can women get hernia?
Yeah, women can get hernias. Yes.
Less bread, more bananas.
Mr. Sterling, good morning. GTV breakfast. Please ask the doctor if surgery is expensive for. I'm sure you know this word, inguinal hernia.
Inguinal hernia. So you could have. It's not so expensive.
How much?
Roughly, I think it's so we have the open. We have about 3 types: the open suture method, open mesh method, and the laparoscopic method.
Okay.
I think the open suture method is covered under insurance.
Good.
So I think now you guys have to maybe add some small insurance that can cover.
How small are those top-ups?
I think if you have about 1,000 cedis, you should, with insurance, be able to have a hernia repair.
That's a big top-up.
That's quite a big top-up, yes.
All right.
It's due to admission and other, maybe some medication that might not be covered, and a few things, emergency.
All right. Okay, couple more quickly. And then
okay, couple of more. There was a message for Multi-T, but I'll read that later. Thanks to GTV Breakfast for these health tips you keep giving us. We are glad to do it. Good morning, GTV Breakfast Show. Thanks to Doctor for the lecture this morning. This hernia issue is real and becoming a big problem to us. But we thank the doctor for the good work they're doing. Again, to the people of Akachi and its environs, you can also visit the municipal hospital for their treatment. Dr. Bonto and other doctors are available for you. Agbemozozo.
Yes.
Is the man from Kaf's hometown. Good morning, family. I had a teacher in primary school who had a hernia. I always wondered how it looked like. That's a word. It's scary. He was a womanizer, and guess what? He had over 2 children. Women are very brave. Wow. I don't see a question here, so I keep going. Good morning, Cap.
But can you have sex with a hernia?
Yeah.
You can have sex?
Yeah.
That guy we saw, could he have sex? No.
Yes.
This man is going to have sex?
So it also depends on where his
penis is lying.
Yes, it depends on what is affecting at this level. And as I said, the structures that go, and sometimes the sex is done in darkness, so then the woman.
So the woman might not know. All they know is it's a heavy load somewhere.
Yes,
but all the blood is rushing to this place. Well, where is it going to get to get an erection? I mean, come on. Wow. Continue.
Good morning, Kaf. Most of the time when I wake up from bed, I feel a swell at my abdomen region and I have to press it till it disappears. It even happens sometimes when I laugh, cough, and even trying to bend down. May I know if that's a hernia too, and what can I do to solve it?
It sounds very, very much like a hernia.
Okay, so you need to go to the hospital and then they'll see what
Last
they can
one
do
for us,
for you.
and then we wrap it up.
Last one. Good education there. I love. That's why I enjoy watching GTV. Many thanks, Doc. Nana Ikuyamu Boating Ablikma Central, aka E-Levy is good, and more messages are coming in, but I think that's all time will allow us.
Let's read F1's one at
now.
least.
F1's one. Okay, wow, these pictures are scary. Good morning, Honorables. Kinka, please ask Doc if there is anything a mother can contribute to prevent her sons from getting hernia.
All right, and that will be our last question.
That would be my last question, yes.
So I think for the umbilical hernias, one of the commonest causes is the umbilical sepsis.
Okay.
So if the cord care, because sometimes you teach the mothers the cord care, and then the grandmothers or our grandmothers will also give them other, this is what I did for your father,
and he's okay.
He's okay. Yeah, so if the cord care goes on well, then you would have stopped that's umbilical hernia. But the other thing is early. Once you notice anything abnormal, I think then the onus is just to report to the hospital, and then we can pick it up from there.
Dr. Omani Achamfo Okra is with the surgical department at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Yeah.
And you are now up to date with the causes, symptoms, and treatment options for hernia. There's only one treatment option: surgery. Thank you so much.
Always
wish you the very best.
Thank you.
That education is very much on point. I'm still traumatized by those pictures, but Maltiti is the solution. She cannot traumatize me unless she's come to choke Man U again, upon which I will not be very happy with her. I understand the Black Stars team has finally arrived. And of course, we are building up to the game on Friday. Your predictions, or you just don't care anymore? Please care. It's our team. Let us know what your predictions are, all right? What do you think the Black Stars will do after the team has been released? We're having a conversation on national service. You're a service person, and you're thinking, where is my alawa? We'll get you some answers today on the show. Send your questions ahead to 055-556-1034, and we will get you answers right here on GTV Breakfast. What else can you look forward to? Well, we've got a chit-chat with FaZe. Yes, FaZe is going to be sitting with Valerie in the last hour of today's show. He's a hip life musician, and you just cannot wait to have him on the yellow couch with Davi Valerie, Abuzuma, Elazareta. She's having a pot on her head, and she'll be here on the show. I am from Somanya. My name is Nene. Nene Kafui from Somanya. Let me speak you some small crobot.
Thank you for joining us on GTV Breakfast Sports. Nifa Jare Benku and a Benku so Jare Nifa. Today I am Fenso Hema, proudly representing the Akano Asante culture, and that's why I'm dressed like this. Ohima Maltiti Bakupe. And it's time for us to bring you Breakfast Sports on GTV Breakfast. And sorry to be looking at the squad list for the Black Stars is finally out amidst all the suspense. Premier League and the international front, to be looking at some tennis games too. So for now, we'll start off with the Black Stars list, and as you can see on your screen, this is the squad list for the Black Stars. We have the goalkeepers, we have the defenders, we have the midfielders, and on the goalkeepers side, on my list or on the screen, you can see that there's Joseph Wallacott, who will be our goalkeeper. He's with the Swindon team in England. We have Abdul Manaf Nuruddin. I'll just run quickly through some of the names because of time. Abdul Manaf Nuruddin, Cars Eupen in Belgium. We have Lawrence Artizigi, St. Gallen in Switzerland, and Richard Ofori, Orlando Pirates in South Africa. For the defenders, we have Dennis Odoi, FC Bruges, Belgium. Andy Yadom, we have Montare Kamahini, Alexander Jiku Abdul Mumin. Wingers, we have Isaku Abdul Fattah from Sporting CP Portugal, Joseph Pencil, Yao Yebua, Osman Bukari. On midfielders front, I'm not seeing Dede Ayew in the strikers, but Idrisu Baba from RCD Mallorca, Spain, Edmond Ado, Mohamed Kudus from Ajax Amsterdam, Holland, Elisha Wusu, Thomas Partey, Daniel Kofi Chire. Strikers, we have Felix Safenya-Jan, AS Roma, Italy, Christopher Entrie J, Jordan Ayew, and Kwesi Red, who is from Holstein Kiel team in Germany, or club in Germany. This is the final squad list for the Black Stars that Coach Otto Addo has released after all the suspense surrounding who will be playing in the crucial game against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Of the Black Stars, Otto Addo, has expressed optimism ahead of their crucial World Cup qualifying playoff against Nigeria. In an address to Guineans on Monday, the assistant Borussia Dortmund coach said he believes in the strategies and are well committed to the task.
My name is Otto Addo, coach of the Black Stars of Ghana. We are only a few days away from playing our crucial match against our rivals Nigeria. We all expect Ghana to qualify for the FIFA World Cup in Qatar 2022. But that won't be easy, as we need to do our best to make it to this tournament. The players, the technical team, and the Ghana Football Association are committed to this task. We really want to make ourselves and the nation proud by qualifying for this upcoming World Cup. Matches between Ghana and Nigeria are always difficult, but we believe in our players, we believe in our strategies, and we believe in the unflinching support of all Ghanaians as we go into these two matches. We are Ghana, and we have what it takes to come out.
Meanwhile, the Black Stars technical advisor Chris Hughton has called on Guineans to remain calm, support the Black Stars, and expect positive results from the team. This is the first time the Irish-born Guinean coach is speaking after his appointment as a technical advisor for the team. He says this moment presents the opportunity to write history. Here's Chris Hughton.
The technical advisor to the Black Stars. As part of the build-up, I would like to urge Ghanaians to remain calm and positive about the team, because we strongly believe we have the quality, desire and hunger to achieve the results that we want. It is a game to qualify for the Qatar World Cup, and we all have a duty to make that dream a reality. Ghana have done it before, and we can guarantee you that everybody associated with the Black Stars wants this opportunity again to perform on a world stage. This moment presents an opportunity to write history, and we are all committed to it, from the players, the technical staff, the Ghana Football Association and the government. We value your support.
Now, George Boateng, the assistant coach for the Black Stars, and he has argued, that though they respect their Nigerian counterparts, Ghana have equally top quality players who are well capable of competing against Nigeria. He said whilst Ghana seeks to add World Cup appearances, he believes the time is now.
My name is George Boateng, and I'm the assistant coach of the Black Stars. It is an honor, a great privilege to be part of the technical team for the upcoming matches against Nigeria. Ghana is well placed to qualify for the World Cup in Qatar, and as a team, we are putting in place a very solid plan to come out victorious. We respect Nigeria because they have good players. However, we also have some top quality players who are well capable of competing against Nigeria. Internally, we are much looking forward to add to our last 3 World Cup appearances, and we know that it is time. In departure, I would like to ask all Ghanaians to put their weight behind the team in this crucial moment in our
Now, 2012 FIFA Under-17 World Cup bronze medalist coach Masoud Didi Dramani has stated that it doesn't matter the opposition or venue the Black Stars would have to deal with going into such crucial games, but what matters is the readiness of the team. He maintained that the Black Stars are capable to shine and conquer their Nigerian counterparts.
Didi Dramani is my name, assistant coach of the Black Stars. We are at a very crucial stage in the World Cup qualifiers, and this is the time for us to show love and undiluted support to the Black Stars. We are heading to the battlefield against an old foe and a familiar opponent in Nigeria, and just as we have witnessed over the years, these matches are always close and cagey. But we believe that the players and the entire nation is ready. It doesn't matter the opposition where the games take place. What matters is the readiness of the team. With pride and passion, I strongly believe that we are more than capable to win this battle. It is going to be 180 minutes or more of frantic and uncompromising action between 2 great football nations in Africa. But I believe that the stars will shine and Ghana will conquer. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Let's go.
It's all positive vibes and optimism. We hope that the Black Stars win this crucial game. Now, let's move to the Ghana Premier League, and the Executive Council of the Ghana Football Association has banned Real Tamale United indefinitely from playing at the Aliu Mahama Stadium in Tamale. The decision was taken following assaults on match officials by home supporters in the Ghana Premier League match between RTU and Adriana Stars on Sunday. And I'm just taking you through the letter from the GFA, and it says the seminars venue ban and violation of the approved GFA match day COVID-19 protocols and GFA safety and security regulations. The seminars and meetings on safety and security at match venues organized by the Ghana Football Association GFA for clubs and the GFA regulations on safety and security refer. It is against this background of the efforts invested into promoting the safety and security at our matches that the association is shocked and extremely alarmed at the criminal assaults on the match officials at the Tamale Sports Stadium by the home supporters in the Premier League match between Real Tamale United FC and Adriana FC on Sunday, March 2022. Again, considering the fact that the GFA has a process for complaining about any alleged bad officiating, if any, for redress through the match review panel, the Executive Council of the Association see any attack on match officials as an attack against the entire sport, it being unwarranted and criminal. The Executive Council has accordingly exercised its powers under Article 14 Clause 2 of the Premier League regulations and has banned the venue indefinitely. The GFA also knows the supporters of the home team RTU went into the inner perimeter and attacked the match officials and condemns without any reservations the violations of the GFA approved match day COVID-19 protocols and safety regulations which took place at the match. This is the letter from the Ghana Football Association. The RTU venue, or the venue where RTU matches are played, at the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium in Tamale. Still on this, meanwhile, RTU has apologized for the incident that saw officials of the match day 21 encounter between RTU and Adriana Stars on Sunday assaulted and some chairs at the stadium destroyed. In a statement issued by the club, they further explained that the two persons that assaulted the officials were not home fans and called on the law to take its course. The letter is on your screen, as you can see, and I'll take you through it briefly. Attack on referee during RTU versus Aduana FC from Real Tamale United Football Club Limited. The management of RTU observed an unpalatable incident that occurred during the match between RTU and Aduana FC on 20th March 2022 at the Aliu Mama Sports Stadium and wished to repudiate the act in no uncertain terms. After the match, two people attacked the referee, but for the timely interventions of the security personnel present and genuine supporters of the club, the situation would have been worse. Management disassociates itself from the condemnable act and states that the culprits were detractors and not bona fide supporters of RTE. Consequently, management has taken measures to prevent a recurrence. The club has asked the police to take up the case and let the law take its course against the culprits. This will serve as a deterrent to others who harbor similar hopes. We apologize unreservedly to the referees who were attacked and empathize with them. We also apologize to all stakeholders of the game and assure them of comprehensive safety measures will be put in place to avert any such nasty incidents during the club's matches at home. Signed, RTU Management, dated March 20, 2022. There's been swift response from the GFA and RTU, and that's is commendable. Now, league leaders Kumasi Asante Kotoko dropped points in the Ghana Premier League on Monday afternoon after playing out a goalless draw game against a resilient 11 Wonders side. Despite dropping points, Asante Kotoko remains top of the Ghana Premier League table with an 8-point gap over Bechem United in second. Here are the highlights.
Tete Norte marshalling forces in the defense. This delivery is quite good, but again, here is Quine. Carefully done! Oh, awkward bounce, and that nearly resulted. Again, is that sweet shot from Quine. Oh! Again cleared on line, but I think the goal will stand. No, it won't. The line, but here. And Nadari Abdul Latif will signal the end of the first 45 minutes of action here. We just got the second half underway. Oh! A chance and is wasted. Looking for Etuga. The shot comes from a distance. Nicely caught there. Thrown by Imoru. Lamte comes in, delivers a shot on target.
Now let's look at the standings, and on your screen you can see that Asante Kotoko, I beg your pardon, has dropped a point and they are top of the Premier League table with 45 points. Bechem United is following suit with 37 in second. Aduana Stars also with 37 points. So Aduana Stars and Bechem United have same points, 37. When you look at the bottom three on the league table, Wafa with 21 points, 11 Wonders with 21 points, Elmina Sharks bottom with 12 points. These are the bottom three on the Premier League table. Let's look at some tennis now, and Rafael Nadal says he's
coming live from the capital. This is the Breakfast Show.
And they call me UJ.
don't go next level.
Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Oh, today he has been extra sweet, and the way he looks at me.
I have done everything by the book. It's on. Hey, but I have to get some condoms, Charlie.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
And they call me UJ. When you need a shoulder to cry, run on my pumpy, so we try was suicide. Let bygone be bygone. I didn't see what the body gonna do, we go straight to stardom. And I gonna take you to next level. My baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The energy next level. Back baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll take you to next level. My baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't go next level. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Oh, today he has been extra sweet, and the way he looks at me.
I have done everything by the book. It's on. Hey, but I have to get some condoms, Charlie.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana
The show was a jar or bar anyone concrete dim.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat.
Injija wohoma malaria enka won to them. Lufat, eye malaria drop a cope.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And aye Lufat. Lufat, a 2 malaria sententem. FDA
So the team has come out and people are not happy, man. From makeup to everywhere. They're not happy. They're not happy with the team. Are you happy with the team? Would love to hear from you on that. So those are things to exercise your minds this morning. My guests are in the studio. Dr. Eric Odro-Osai is governance expert, Director General of the Internal Audit Agency, and Professor John Malto, Dean of Studies, UPS. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
How's the Ghana month going so far?
So far, so good. And we are celebrating the Ghana month, and we wish that every month will be Ghana month.
Indeed.
Because we are happy being in our natural Ghanaian dresses, going up and down and showcasing what Ghana has to offer.
Yeah.
I think it's good. It's good. But I think we should also use this period to modify some of our culture, especially the lawyers, the accountants, and the others. I mean, the leadership of the bar must take a second look at the dress code for lawyers. Because you go to some of the courts and you have to wear your gown, you have to wear your everything. You know, there's no air conditioning there.
What is the everything? A suit?
You have to wear your suit, you have to wear your tunic shirt, you need your babe, you have to put on your gown, you have to put on your wig, and then because of COVID-19 protocol, you have to mask. So you put on your nose mask. Go and sit in the court. You know, so I think we've come of age as a country. And as Africans, we should be able to develop our own dress codes. That suits our culture, that suits our climate, and that suits the way we do things in Ghana, even in the legal profession.
Indeed.
Same must go for accountants. I mean, you cannot.
What do accountants wear? What are you
accountant, you have to be in tie, you have to be in your white shirt, you have to be in your suit, and all of that. But can we, for a moment, pull off the tie, pull off the shirt, pull off the jacket, and wear some jumper or some African wear to go and audit and issue audit report and present financial statement? That is cultural modification. That's what I'm calling for.
Last question. Is the wig hot?
Hot in terms of?
When you put it on your head.
The wig, it depends on the environment. If I go to one of the district courts, most of the district do not have air conditions. So if I go there and I'm in the wig, I'm in my bib, I'm in my shirt, and it's indeed, it can be hot. Though at times we sit under fans, but it will be blowing hot air. And when it's hot, you can imagine the kind of argument you can put up. You are putting up an argument and you know that your brain is hot. So please, the leaders of the bar and
you see inside. See inside for the lawyers.
Thank you very much.
You know, I think this is a very serious concern. This is about the third time you have raised this issue.
Yeah, it's a big concern for me. It's a big concern. If you go to the Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, High Court, now, by God's grace, we have a very nice High Court system where there's air conditioning, everything. There's no problem. If you go to the district court, my brother, I mean, as soon as you leave the prep, and now there is a directive from the CJ that you have to robe, whether you are the lower court or the high court. So you have to robe. If you go there unrobed, you are naked before the judge. So you have to robe, and there's no air conditioning in the room. You know, so there are some of the arguments we make under
sweating and heat. Wonderful. Those who have ears, let them hear. I want you to tell me that in Krobo. All right. Those who have ears, let them hear. Send it to me 055-556-1034, and then the CAF will respond to that for you. That was my own sick tune to telling me that the show has started. Let's read the headlines. Daily Graphic. President tells ECOWAS court to reform procedures. BOG tackles challenges, raises lending rates, withdraws 3 COVID-19 stimulus measures. EU supports TVET with 17 million euros. Ghanaian Times. Donation by Fix the Country convener is against our standard procedure, says the Ghana police. The Finder. The police refute donation claims for war. And zipline deliveries hit 1.7 million as Dr. Bawumia commissions new delivery center in Volta. Let's start with matters of the economy and the Bank of Ghana. Daily Graphic, big headline, BOG tackles challenges. Picture there of Dr. Ernest Addison, who is the governor of the Bank of Ghana. So this is a story by Maxwell Akalari Adombila. The Bank of Ghana has raised the rate at which it lends to commercial banks to the highest level in 5 years. Bank raised the policy rate by 250 basis points or 2.5% from 15.5 to the highest since 2018. And now the central bank has also withdrawn 3 stimulus measures that were used to cushion banks against the COVID-19 pandemic. These are part of measures that were put in place to support the economy to fight the rising prices of goods and services. So there was a big press conference yesterday, and the governor basically laid out all these things, that plans by government to raise $2 billion from a consortium of local banks, which would help to improve the country's reserves and slow down the pace at which the CD was losing its value. Break this down for us, gentlemen. I'll start with you, Dr. Osai. So what is going on here? What does it mean when they say the policy rate has been increased by 250 basis points? What does that mean to the businessman in the streets of Ghana?
To the businessman, the 250 basis points puts us at 17%. And what it means is that the central bank itself can lend it out to commercial banks at 17%. There is a baseline figure of 17%. So it means that anybody who goes to commercial bank for loan, you get the loan in excess of 17%. So it would then introduce some competition among the banks. So you can go to Bank A, they would want to give it to you at 8%. Bank B, they want to give it to you at 19%. Bank C want to give it to you at 20%. So the 17% is the baseline or the minimum that they can get from Bank of Ghana. And since they are in for business and they have operational expenses to meet, they will not give it out at 18%. But we should also look at the inflation rate, because the current inflation rate given by the bank is 15.7%. So what it means is that if the bank gives it to you at 17%, it means there's a margin of 1.2%, 1.3% in that one. So what people should expect is that if you go to a commercial bank for a loan, the interest rate on the loan should be 17% and above. So basically that's what has happened. And they took into consideration global trends. They took into consideration what is happening locally, and they took into consideration the fact that things are being relaxed now. And that is not the only thing they did. You realize I also worked on the cash reserve ratio, which is the portion of deposit commercial banks are allowed to keep with the Bank of Ghana. So there will be a lot of cash in the system.
What was the current figure? What was the previous figure, and then what is it?
The current figure is 12%, and that is the pre-pandemic period figure. Within the pandemic period, the figure changed, but before yes, I think it was higher.
They wanted you to have the banks to have more money available.
That's right.
Okay.
So they've gone back to the pre-pandemic period, and then they have other things. The cash, the capital reserve conservation buffer. That is the capital adequacy ratio. That is the capital base of financial institutions. So you should have enough capital to run, so that you will not rely on only deposits. So at the moment, the capital asset ratio is at 13%. What it means is that banks are more liquid. They have the resources to run their business. They are not going to rely on the deposits of clients. So you cannot go to a bank to withdraw your money for the bank to tell you they don't have money. They should have money. So once they peg that capital adequacy ratio there, it means all banks in Ghana have the adequate capital to do their business. And when it happens like that, it injects or engender confidence in the system, in the financial sector, because if you deposit your money and you want to withdraw the money at any time, the funds will be available for you to withdraw. So these are, I think, in the interim, good measures, but let's see how it goes. So gradually, they are trying to relax the various challenges that we had as and when we mitigate the effect of COVID-19. So I think it's not bad at all.
Professor Malta, what do you think about these measures, and how significant are they from where you sit?
Okay, Kofi, in fact, I wish we weren't where we are today. Measures to a large extent are just short-term, short-term measures to address an existing problem. And this is about addressing the increase in inflation rates, as well as the depreciation of the cedi. Okay, and normally policy rates are increased. One of the significance is to mop up excess liquidity in the system.
Is there excess liquidity in Ghana?
Oh yeah, it's a reflection of the inflation rate. There's so much money chasing some fewer goods. I mean, that's the implication. So government over the years have been using the policy rate just to mop up these funds and also encourage people to bring their money back to the bank. Okay, it creates this lazy economy. Okay, it doesn't really help the economy. But these are the drastic measures you have to probably introduce just to address the problem. Now, my fear is that we are going back to the era of high interest rates in the private sector.
How high did the interest rates get to back in the past?
Policy rate is the benchmark. So if banks will go and borrow at 17% from the BOG, it means that these funds, when the banks are giving them out to the public, are you okay? They have to pay more. Now, we all go to, and we all, you know, and this will also influence the treasury bill
Definitely.
of the government.
Will it go up or down?
It will go up.
Okay.
It already is, it's about ranging between over 13%. Okay. So it means that if the government wants money from the public, I mean, there's already a system, I mean, conglomerate of domestic banks to raise 2 billion. Now, what it means is that you need to provide some incentives in the form of increasing the lending rate so that myself and you will give money to the government through these banks. Only that you pay higher than what I would have gotten outside the banking system. So obviously, the government will have to increase some of these rates, and it will also impact the banks. The banks will also have to increase their rates. At the end of the day, the private sector suffers. That is what it means.
Because money becomes too expensive to get.
Today, the basic rate is ranging between 18 to 21% in some banks. In some banks, 24%. Okay, and basic rate is not the ultimate rate that you pay as an individual or a private businessman. They look at the risk associated with you. So you go to a bank, the basic rate is 20%. You end up paying about 27%.
Based on your risk profile?
Your risk, your risk profile. My fear is that we are going back to the era where Ghanaian businessmen have to pay over 30% interest rate on their credit.
What will happen when it gets to that level?
That is it. That it goes back to financial, scandals, where we have a financial system, are you okay, with people not being able to pay their loans. It will increase, the NPL will increase, non-performing loans will increase in the books of
What's
the banks.
What's a non-performing loan?
When your customers are not able to pay within the period, default period.
Okay.
So when that rate increases, it brings back the crisis in the banking sector. So spending over 22 billion Ghana cedis to revive banks in this country goes down the drain, because we are going back to that era again. That's my fear, that if we don't take care as a country, we are going back to what we spent the taxpayers' money to address a few years ago. But this is, this is unavoidable. We are BOG in charge of monetary issues in this country must always introduce measures to ensure that whenever we have constant increase in inflation, constant depreciation of the cedi, these are the measures we've been using it for several years. And please, it is not only Ghana. Currently, US are using the same thing. Most of the countries are using.
The Bank of England also increased the policy rate 25 basis points. So Kafui, without cutting my my colleague short, you see, from where he's going, what it then means is that if the lending rate is very high, private businesses cannot go in for loans. Once they cannot go in for loan, they will not be able to expand their business. They can only employ people when they expand their business. And when they expand their businesses, they are able to increase production.
That is it.
When they increase production, the multiplier effect is that the economy would expand. So that's the challenge we are likely to have. But again, this is the monetary policy. Like I always say, the fiscal policy must balance the monetary policy.
Fiscal
and that
policy
is where
being what? Taxes?
Taxes. That's where the government expenditure must also come in. So government must also and then spend within the system, so that as and when the businessmen also do their spending to increase productivity, government can also spend. And then government should not also spend on recurrent expenditure. Government should spend on capital expenditure.
Recurrent is what? Salaries?
Recurrent is salaries and other administrative things. So that's why I'm happy about the measures.
But people have to be paid.
People would have to be paid. But that is an important recurrent expenditure. But the other recurrent expenditure item, government can cut. And government should rather invest more in the capital project. When you invest in capital project, people get money in their hands. Together with the salaries, you realize that they will buy things or they will patronize things.
Capital projects like what? Roads, hospitals?
We can do roads, we can do hospitals. The reason is that the contractors will be paid. People working there as laborers or electricians will be paid.
Are contractors being paid now?
Some of them are being paid. The local economy would expand. So once it happens like that, there will be some level of vibrancy in the system. Jobs will be created. You have less idle hands. So if you balance it with what is happening in the private sector, I'm sure we'll be able to make a headway. What I don't want to see happening is the government crowding out the private sector, where the government comes in to borrow from the public. Once you borrow from the public, you crowd out the private sector.
Is that the T-bill thing? So if Ghanaians start buying more T-bills, we are actually lending to the government. Yeah. So they're taking money out.
Yeah, but I'm happy the T-bill thing is around 13%. Around 13%, and the policy rate is 70%. So what it means is that people may want to go to buy the T-bill. That is if you want a risk-free security. But like my brother said, depending on your risk, the base is 17 or 20. But if you don't, we don't know where you live, you have a history of default. Your business is not a business that can guarantee repayment. Your risk level is very high. That is why the Ghana card is important. Street naming and house naming is important. So that we'll be able to profile every Ghanaian. Once we do that, and we have your personal statistics available in the system, your risk level is very low, and the cost of borrowing.
We can find you.
We can find you. Default rate will be very low. And you see, these are the petty things that we need to do and put in place to ensure that business will run. Else, we'll be in trouble, I tell you.
Be in trouble, says Dr. Osai. Prof. Malto, is e-levy a game changer? In terms of the fiscal side of things.
Why do we keep measuring it?
It's very important.
Because we need money. You know that where the money is coming from. But is e-levy the only source of revenue to government?
It appears that that's what it is.
No, but I think, I humbly disagree with that. If that's what government position is. And I'm not sure that's government position. The e-levy is only one source of revenue to government. I think that as a country, we should have a plan B.
But now it's crucial. You know,
we should have a plan B. What is every day e-levy? So granted that e-levy does not happen, can't we run the economy?
Plan B.
We should have a plan B. We should have even a plan C.
That is it.
That is, we should have a backup plan.
What would be a plan B? I mean, if they came to you and said, Dr. Say, talk to us, we heard you, we saw your passion. What is a plan B?
You see, the plan B is, let us seal the leakages. The leakages in the system. Let us improve tax collection. They are improving. But I think that there are a lot of people outside the tax network. Let us make the payment of tax easier for people. Now, it is difficult. GRA is doing its best. But now it is difficult for people to pay taxes. Let us make it easier, friendly, and enjoyable. Like we do it in churches. People dance to go and put money in bowls. Why do you think they do that? Because they know God will bless them. Because they know the church will use it to use the money for the intended purpose. Let us make it easier. Let us have those options. I mean, e-levy is there. If e-levy passes, fine. But if we are not able to pass e-levy, I challenge the government financial advisor to come up with a plan A, plan B, plan C. So whether e-levy or not, Ghana will survive.
Thank you so much. Prof. Malto, anything you want to add to that?
In fact, in all those policy initiatives, I think it boils down to consumption. Kafi, in every economy, normally the economy expands when there's so much consumption. And this particular policy, the increase in the policy rates will, to a large extent, reduce consumption. That's what it means. Now,
which is not a good sign.
No, it's not good.
Because you have to spend.
No. I mean, whatever policy is geared towards reducing consumption, it simply means that the economy will slow down a bit. Now, Kafui, the problem is so fundamental that in a part of the world, what pains me is that whenever consumption increases, then our specific fiscal and monetary indicators, deteriorate. It's because of the over-reliance on foreign goods. Over-reliance on foreign consumption. Even the so-called businesses that we own, what a proportion of ownership to Ghanaians. So every now and then, monies are being sent out of the economy. So U.S. economy could even pump in money to increase consumption, put money in the hands of individuals to buy goods produced by companies in the U.S. When you push money into the hands of Ghanaians, you are enriching the economy of other countries. And once you do that, your city depreciates against the dollar. Are you okay? Your inflation increases because you don't have the availability of goods non-existent. Look at the wheat industry. Because of the Russia-Ukrainian war, we have to, in the shortest possible time, change our supply chain. Look, over 20% of our wheat are supplied from Russia and Ukraine. And in this short period, it means that there's more money chasing fewer wheats. That's what it means. So eventually, it will increase inflation. So the painful thing, once again, brings us back to the fundamental problem, which we have to solve as a country. Let us increase domestic, investment, domestic consumption. Whenever you increase consumption and it will affect your economy, then sorry, we will always be coming here introducing this, traditional measures of addressing short-term monetary issues. Kofi, how long will you do this? And my fear, once again, is that we'll go back to the era of high cost of credit, and that will scandalize our banks again. We are waiting for the third quarter report of the financial sector, and you see, 1 year, banks are making more money from investment than giving credit to the private sector.
Their businesses.
And you see, what it means is that banks mobilize money from us and give it to the government to go and buy bonds. So a chunk of their profits is attributable to this investment. And it also tells you that, like my senior brother mentioned, you crowd out the private sector
and that's dangerous.
From the financial sector.
What do you think? Would love to hear from you. 055-556-1034. Messages will come after the next story that I'll be dealing with briefly, and it has to do. So this Bank of Ghana thing is a headline everywhere. So BOG jacks up rates, tightens measures to tame inflation, tackles CDs for that's the finder, and of course the Daily Graphic. BOG tackles challenges, raises lending rate, withdraws 3 COVID-19 stimulus measures. It's a big story. Matters of the money, of the pocket, really. Things that nobody jokes with. Yesterday I was having a chat with a Ghanaian who lives in Norway. He says he's being taxed 46% of his income. When he was a student, he was being taxed 32%.
Yeah.
He's now out of school, he's being taxed 46%. But guess what? Everything works.
Yeah.
Yes, everything works. He's got their number. Without that number, 12-digit number, you can't get a job. And once you have that number, they tax you. But they tax you and then you get your stuff done. Education is sorted out, health is sorted out. Yeah. He hasn't seen a pothole in his 3 years that he's in Norway. It's a Ghanaian. I said, will you come back to Ghana? He said, he started coughing. Yeah, so we need to get the stuff sorted out so that we can create a great society for our people to stay.
But Kofi, you know, Doc, made this pronounced statement that, look, we go to churches, we dance and pay tithe. Yes. We don't even send it to. We dance. In fact, with joy.
Which is a tax, really.
And, you know,
the tithe is a tax. 10%
of my income. And I just realized that I've been paying tax since year 17.
Yeah.
And with joy, every Sunday on my...
Oh, you dance?
I dance and go and pay.
You put it in an envelope.
It shows that confidence I have in my pastor.
Exactly.
Also the confidence in the fact that I'll be blessed. So you see, it's now... it's incumbent on politicians to know that, look, indeed, you need that confidence to improve on the fiscal performance of this country. Ghanaians must have that confidence in you. Create it.
Yes.
Without it, the same people who pay tax, tithe with joy. The same people who are supposed to pay tax.
Exactly.
Yeah. But if they don't believe in the system, how would they pay?
Because when you look at this express system they've introduced at DVLA and passport, I tell you, if you want your passport within 1 week and you tell a Ghanaian he should pay 1,500, he will pay insofar as he's sure that he will get it.
He will get it today.
You understand? So let us connect the tax payment to service delivery, and let us always prove to Ghanaians that this tax that you pay, this is what we've used it to. This is what we've used it for. I'm sure once we do that, that confidence that Ghanaians need in the tax system will come, and they will pay taxes naturally.
Are you looking forward to a day where you pay your taxes like the way you dance to the offertory bowl?
And then you go and put it
to go and put the money in the bowl for the church to develop? We've got your messages coming up. 055-556-1034. Thelma is ready to drop the messages on us. Okay, Thelma.
I am
Queen
ready.
Thelma.
Good morning.
Oh, why?
Last week, so my suitors, they found one for me. So today I'm dressed like a fancy bride.
One time. You look great.
Messages coming in, and I must reiterate, as we always do, these are the comments and opinions of those who send them and not that of GBC. Rhoda says, good morning to the team. This morning from Rhoda Kennedy. The hashtag we love to see GTV breakfast show. Yes, our costumes are made possible by Rate Culture. Follow them across social media handles. Let me pick more of your thoughts. And Nana Ekwamwa says, we as a country should not do what America and Europe do. By this raising the rate to 17%, the communication is that the economy will not grow in the immediate future. Businesses cannot borrow as expected from the banks. The treasury bill rates are low, so people will not lend to government. The banks will be constrained as they must give loans using the policy rate as a benchmark. They will have money. No one is coming to borrow. The only option they have is to lend to government at the very low TB rate and therefore reducing economic activity. The economy will dwindle as the private sector is crowded out. Tax revenues, etc., will be low as well. That's a very, very in-depth analysis of bank rates and policies. Nane Kwama, aka e-levy, is good. Bank of Ghana increasing the policy rate to 17% is in the right direction. This is because currently the inflation rate is around 15%. So the policy rate increase will mop up excess liquidity in the system, thereby reducing the inflation and exchange rate. And you are sending regards. Hamza joins and says, good morning, watching live from Nkwanta, Uti region. Masaudu Hamza Capello. In fact, this government has delayed in everything, including the development of this country, and they blamed it first on JDM, second on COVID, third on Ukraine and Russia war. After all this, they will one day tell Ghanaians NDC caused their failure. Master Planner. Isn't it amazing listening to the NDC communicators talking about economic management? An economy of 14% was handed over to ex-President Mahama, but he mismanaged it to 3.6%. President Nana Akufo-Addo managed it fantastically to 7% before COVID-19. NDC is never again, and they are never an alternative, according to Hamza. Let's see if I can pick a few more. Good morning, CAF. Those who are enjoying our tax money, they don't feel the heat. Honorable couldn't answer the simple question you asked him. Please tell him he's really, really, really hot. Oscar Glaga from Oblogo New Site.
Which honorable is he talking about?
let me just slide up. Someone is telling you how to pronounce something. I'm not sure I'll be able to get into this, so I'll just move on to Alhaji Dauda's message. Good move at walking the talk by the governor of the Bank of Ghana. The governor has taken the lead for the convergence of economic views is significant. Men and women with accounting and economics brains such as Dr. Drew should all make their inputs now.
He's making his input ever since, please.
Alhaji says from Adina Estates. Good morning, Thelma. Please, is it true that Dr. Baumia cannot be found? Well, I don't have the answer to that question. Gilbert says, I'm glad to hear people are expecting deliverables from the government as we pay our taxes. All is not lost, so long as all meet our tax obligations. That's the only way we can develop, not playing politics with everything. Yao Ghana said so. So, Kaf, I'm going to be here for a while longer and pick a few more of the messages when they come in. Let me scroll. Okay, so there's some greens here. This is a long one. Okay. We must not live at the mercy of foreign strong institutions to build or strengthen our economy, i.e. European Union. Our economy keeps picking up day in, day out, but sometimes it looks like one step forward and two steps backward due to our borrowing nature. My point is, if we segment very well our resources and we apportion it to the appropriate institutions with proper accountability and transparency in the duty of work, I think Ghana, within no time, we will reach our destination without seeking help or aid from the EU, IMF, and another financial institution. Aaron Babakoko Komisa said that. Mr. Owahene says, thanks to our hard-working Agric minister. So I know you're always sending messages about him. And today, I will just go on to others. Good morning, I'm Eben from Kwabenya. Jack, where are you now? We all know the Vice President Bawumia has been detained by the dollar. And that's some laughing emojis. Release yourself now if you are really the economic wizard. I believe next you want to... I believe... I can't quite understand that one there. But Eben, thanks for sending your message and having your say. Good morning, GTV, and good morning, Ghana. In fact, I'm impressed with what GTV is now offering us. I'm in love with you. Keep up the good work. The great face of GTV Breakfast Show. McMahon's from Ablekuma. Agape says so. Seth, we want the government to pay the NSS, but we don't want to borrow. We don't want to pay our tax, and we as a people are against the innovative e-levy. What people are we? Is the question. Seth,
we're Ghanaians.
Kwedo Boating is asking from Kumasi,
right.
Daban. More messages coming on top. Yeah. Good morning, Thelma, and everyone in the house. May God bless Ghana and every Ghanaian out there this morning. Amen to that. Leviticus Powers. Good morning. Ghanaians must pay taxes enjoyably like they pay offerings and collections at churches. So that's according to Leviticus. Mena Hunter says, let's practice exactly what the Malaysians did through sacrificial commitment, and Ghana will bounce back. This is quite a lengthy one. To accuse the government of being the cause of high cost of living, the escalating that is causing high inflation, the latter should at least be prepared to give pragmatic solutions that suggest they are capable of managing the economy. Rejecting the e-levy and suggesting going to the IMF clearly tells us that the alternative, NDC, remains empty, and it's a known fact. Is it probably the usual case that the NDCs just see the current situation as a means to bounce back to power, or they actually know how to solve this global problem that has caused economic recession? NDC Anokwa, according to McLean Desmond from Seshri. You're so high, GTV BFS. Your panelists hit the nail right on the head. Government is not helping those in production and manufacturing of things we use and consume. Example, rice, chicken, tomatoes, onions, etc. And most unfortunately, Kantanka manufactures saloon cars, SUVs, and pickups. But our government prefers using our tax money to purchase same vehicles from other brands to our institutions and agencies. How can Ghana develop with this attitude from government? Ghana beyond aid? Michael says from Ashalaja. So, General is also asking the question of where is Dr. Bawumia, and that is how I'll hand it over back to you, Kaf.
He's probably at home with his wife right now. Come on. It's as simple as that. Preparing to go to work. Okay? You guys are just responding to Mr. Mahama's questions. He's asking the question, you're also responding. More conversations on the show, hashtag GTV Breakfast. There's a lady holding a pot on her head. She's come to Meleza Detta. I wonder what she's all about. We may be going for Keep an Eye with Davi Yawa Valerie Cho Anglonga. Davi Afwan.
I'm struggling to keep just put it down.
No. Hold it and talk.
Okay, guys, so yeah.
Aquaba lady.
So there's a proverb in Ewe. It says that Gemetwaho Adaba, simply meaning that the beard has no business giving history lessons to the eyelash, because guess what? When a human being is born, the eyelash is already there. So hey, the beard gang guys, respect the elders like calf, okay? So on Keep an Eye, we are looking at dredging ahead of the rains. Our guy Alan is already on standby, and so we're going to be going to him in a bit. You know, the Odo has given us a lot of grief in past years. Hopefully, this year might be different. Let's look at what Alan has. Alan, hi. Where's Zo? Where's Zo? Welcome to the show, officially. What can you report?
Where's now? Indina, Ghana, Indina, all our viewers. Thank you very much, Val, for coming to this morning. Welcome to you at the emergence point between the Odo River and the Kole Lagoon. At this point, they both enter the sea. And so what you see behind me is the emerging point. We're looking at the dredging exercise on the Odo River as it makes its way, winds its way across town into the sea. And you'll find that when you're upstream, human activity means that a lot of field will find its way into the Odo River. However, at this point where it meets the Korle Lagoon and they enter the sea, there has been a consistent effort at dredging. And so if my camera will pan towards the left, you'll find that dredging equipment are seated at the bank of it. These get to work every now and then. And so you have a water body. If you're not very careful, you will think this is not the Odo River at the emerging point. This really gives an idea what the whole stretch of the entire water body would have looked like if this exercise had been carried out consistently and with maximum effort in making sure that at least this is done. This would have provided another means of transport. And so where you have a lot of traffic on our roads, a canoe or a boat could be on this water and will ferry passengers across town all the way through the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, even to Achimota. This is done somewhere in Europe. And so the effort at getting this water body clean is really very important. Not only that, but also it takes away the perennial flooding of the communities that live right across the stretch of the Odo River, all the way from Achimota down Alajo through the Kwame Nkrumah, through the Dabraka Township, and then through Agbogbloshie, where it meets the Korle Lagoon, and then they make their way down towards into the sea. It is so good, so much so that fishermen who work in the Jamestown Harbor finds it convenient to bring their canoes and park it in the Korle and the Odo River as has been desilted or dredged in order to make life comfortable for them, because the space in the harbor isn't big enough for them to park their canoes. And so this is the situation up here. But Val, we traveled the entire stretch of the Odo River all the way through the points I'd mentioned earlier. And so viewers can stand by for that. It will feature on our Keep an Eye. And we can assure viewers that it gives us a good comparative opportunity to look at what it would look like or what it would be if we had made efforts desilting or dredging this water body, consistently. And that would mean that the annual flooding we see would be a thing of the past if this effort at dredging is properly kept. The water is so beautiful this morning that all passers-by will stop and ask, is this the same water body we see with its stench and filth and everything else that comes with it? Viewers can surely stand by for the Keep an Eye on the entire stretch of the Odo River ahead of the rains and what it looks like. I must also place on record that as we traveled along, we found some work ongoing on the Graphic Road stretch of the Odo River. Some desilting or dredging is taking place there. We spoke to some of the engineers who are working on there. Although we cannot quote them off camera, we gave a historical background to what the water had been and the amount of filth that had collected into it. In fact, as I speak to you, on some portions, you have grass growing in the Odo River. And you wonder how a grass could grow in a flowing water body, if it is indeed flowing as it should be and make its way into the sea. It is not so. Surely, when that hits our screens, I am sure the conversations that would follow would mean that those who live on the banks of that stretch would have to really and truly get their acts together in their own interest and for their own safety. This has been Keep an Eye coming to you live from the bank of the Odo Korle Lagoon at the emerging point where they both enter the sea. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Valerie. Take it over from us in the studio.
Alan, thank you. And that was Alan who came to us with what the Odo Korle area now looks like, and looks like the water somehow is flowing. Well, Headlines continues. The hashtag to follow is GTV Breakfast. Back to you for Cap.
They say you. Yeah, so good news from the college side of things, don't you think so?
Yeah, yes, it's good news, and these are the kinds of things we want to see. Unfortunately, he did not tell us who is doing it, which of the projects are doing the dredging, But I think it's good, even as we expect the rains. The dredging is very important, and I give them thumbs up. The only thing is that it should not be a 9-day wonder.
Yeah.
And we should also be careful about where we dispose the waste. When we dredge, do we put it along the banks, or we have a way of disposing of far away, so it doesn't wash back into?
Yeah, the way we clean our gutters, we put the filth out and leave by the roadside.
So we should take a second look at it and then sustain it. I will be grateful if the local assembly or the district assembly within the area takes over this project and ensure that consistently they do their dredging. They shouldn't wait for a special government project, but then once it is within its area of jurisdiction, the chief executive and the people in that area must take responsibility and ownership and ensure that constantly they'll be able to dredge it. So we'll see it as it is. We're happy about what's happening.
Prof. Martha, can you look forward to the day when we will have canoes and little boats on the door, and we'll just be just chilling?
Kafi, do you know, growing up, that was what we heard.
Yes, there was a plan for that.
There was a plan that, look, you can use the canoes and boats.
Like Venice.
And that was that hope that we'll get there one day. But you know, it's good news, indeed, when we know the rains are coming very soon. It's good that, and timely that we do it now, the Odo River, and ensure that the water flows, without any hindrance from filth, especially at the time that we have a lot of filth around that same area. And it's very important, Doc mentioned that, where are we disposing of the filth after dredging?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because even that filth is potential wealth.
Yes,
sort it out.
That is recycle.
Yeah.
So and that is where we need some sort of investment. I mean, I'm so passionate about domestic investment. Investment, we rely so much on foreign investment, and at the end of the day, money goes back because we don't have that policy which encourages people to retain so much of their returns in this country. Okay, and whenever we have this capital flying out of the economy, the city suffers. Okay, so we need more of domestic investment. Whatever we do, let's look out for a Ghanaian.
Let us build local champions.
That is it.
Let us build local champions. You are taking me to Black Stars conversation, so I'll end on that. But before that, let's talk about donations. So, I mean, going to give food to people inside a jail, counterback. Is there a problem with it? Well, the Ghana police is not too happy with a donation by the Fix the Country convener. They say it's against their standard procedure. And I think I'll have to have this read. Let's have this read. So the Tema Regional Police statement on an attempted food donation at the Ashaiman Police Station. So this is what happened. So it's quite lengthy, but I'll try and read it as quickly as possible. The attention of the Tema Regional Police Command has been drawn to a story making the rounds on social media in relation to some alleged food donations to suspects in police custody at Ashaiman. Command wishes to state that we got to know from some media platforms that Mr. Vomawo, recently out on bail on a charge of treason felony, intended to make a donation of some food at the police station. He was informed through his lawyers that the intended donation was against police standard operating procedure on the feeding of persons in police custody, and he should therefore refrain from such action. In spite of the notice given him, he showed up at the police station in the company of some other individuals and a musical band with the obvious intention still of making the donation and creating unnecessary drama. Police therefore had no choice but to refuse him the opportunity. After loitering at the station for a while amidst noise making and inconveniencing other persons at the station, he and his group finally dispersed. The claims by Mr. Vomawa that he donated the food at the station but was later called to come back for them as a result of an order from above is false, should be disregarded. We wish to state that feeding of persons in police custody is a responsibility of the government, and it's a responsibility that's discharged according to law and laid down procedures. However, due to our cultural sensitivities and arrangements, families of suspects are usually allowed to provide food to them. From time to time, we wish to take the police are held accountable for whatever happens with persons in our custody, and for that reason, we take all necessary precautions to ensure their safety. We therefore do not accept food from any sources except families and people nominated by the suspects being held in custody for that purpose. As a command, we're left to wonder what the motives of Mr. Vomawo actually are, since the feeding of suspects in custody is hardly an enterprise he can sustain even for more than a day. We therefore urge the public to disregard his actions, which are obviously calculated just to court public attention. We wish to assure the public that we will continue to discharge our duties to keep the nation safe and secure at all times. Signed, Stella Dede Jakbasu, Chief Inspector, Public Affairs, Tema. So that is the issue with Mr. Vomawo. From a legal point of view, Dr. Sign, I mean, what's the big deal? It's come to feed people.
Yeah, ordinarily, making donations are allowable within the ambit of our laws. But when you have suspects in the custody of the police, it becomes the responsibility of the police to make sure that they are safe and sound. So according to standard operating procedures of the security agencies, even if you are a family member and you are bringing food to a suspect, it will have to be given to the police. They will have to screen it. At times, they will even allow you to taste the food, because there have been instances where people intentionally hide all kinds of things in the food, give it to the suspect, and the suspect use it to harm the police and then escape. There are instances where suspects in the custody of the police are key suspects, providing police information because other people do not want them to give the police the information. They poison the food, give it to the suspect eats, the suspect dies, and that's the end of the case. So because of that, if you understand some of these things, you don't just get up and go and then do donation. There's nothing wrong if Oliver wants to do donation. But I would have thought that through the police administration, they quality assure it, they check everything, then they would rather bring it to the suspect. So I think it's all about the arrangement and the management. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong donating, except that we should know that if something happens to the suspect, it is the duty and the responsibility of the police to answer those questions. So police really will not allow that to happen. You cannot just get up from your home and say that I'm going to give food or I'm going to give donation to inmate or suspect. You would have to pass it definitely through the police administration for proper screening to ensure that it is according to standards. The food has not been poisoned, it has not been contaminated, you've not hidden anything in the food that would give the suspect the opportunity to even plan their escape. So because of all these things, it should have been organized well. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong donating something to a suspect.
Prof.
Yeah, I think the same. Just I didn't like the bit of going to donate food with brass band followers. Following him to the police station. Just trying.
Brass band was too much.
Please, you are going to donate. Okay, we all donate sometimes, and my church does donation. Indeed, they are very particular with whatever you present, you donate. Okay, and they receive it and acknowledge it. But once you try adding that,
brass band,
that sort of, I don't know the right word to use, but it's unfortunate he went there with crowd. Okay.
Do you think he's manipulating the media? Do you think he's manipulating the media to
a large extent, he wants to create a scene. At least he wants to be heard. And I've been following him for some time now. But you see, whatever he mentioned is quite sensitive to the sustainability of governance in this country. Kafui, I've been saying this. Look, coup is nothing. It brings nothing to countries. Okay. In contemporary corporate governance, check what is happening in Mali, Burkina Faso. What is happening there? People are expecting something extraordinary. It's just a matter of time. The same people who were, praising these, organizers, will start hitting them very hard when they start facing reality. When they dip their hands in their pockets, whatever they are expecting within camp. It is not just about organizing coup to change economic hardship.
It can't even change
it. It can't.
Because if a military government is ruling, nobody will present budget to you. There's no budget. Nobody will present budget. And if you want to present the budget, you can't ask questions.
No.
You can't ask questions. Parliament is suspended. I'm telling you, Parliament is suspended. They don't have MP to make law. They will just make decree. When they sit down and they think that this is what and impose it on you.
That is it.
Yeah, so you don't have your right. When you speak and you don't speak well, like somebody said, there's freedom of speech, but freedom after speech cannot be guaranteed. But that is not our law. No. Our law is saying freedom of speech, whether before or after. And this can only be guaranteed under a constitutionally elected government. So, as for the word coup d'etat, I mean, I don't even want to mention it.
That is it.
It is not part of our development agenda if we want to develop. No nation has developed with coup leaders. Yeah. No, you can't. You can't. You need a stable constitutional democracy that can sustain a well-planned short to medium-term development plan. Then you can develop. So, for those ones, it doesn't really help. What we need to do is to contribute our quota to the development of this country, wherever we find ourselves. If you can speak for things to change, speak for things to change.
That is it.
If you're a teacher, you are teaching. Teach well for things to change. If you are broadcast the good things. Get Ghanaians to come on deck so Ghana can develop. If you're a military man, do your work well. If everybody is doing their bits and pieces, all of us collectively, we can develop this country. Don't sit on the fence. We have only one Ghana.
One Ghana is what we have. We also have one Black Stars team. and the list is out. But before we even go there, I just want to let you know that if you are a national service person, you should be excited because we have here the Director of Corporate Affairs and the National Service Secretariat, Armstrong Issa, who will be chatting with Thelma about the delay in your alawa. Yeah, I remember those times when our thing didn't land. We were not too happy, you know. So I don't think things have changed. Okay, so that's a big conversation that is going to be happening. And then Faze will be chit-chatting with Davi Valerie from Blemazadon. Wherever she comes from changes the second she's on. So she was from Alangari recently. Now she's from Blemazadon in the Volta region. And she'll be chilling with Faze in a short while. Let's go back to our bride. Our fancy bride. Ifro, what are the messages on 055-556-1034 before we do Black Stars?
I'm interested in the Black Stars committee.
So should I jump there? You bring some more?
Because if there are no local players of the team in there, I'll be really, really upset.
Okay.
So I'll just read some of the messages, and these are opinions expressed by those who are watching us, not that of GBC or any of us.
Disclaimer.
Good morning, and Leviticus is saying going to IMF is the worst alternative. Ghanaians must embrace e-levy. All francophone West countries use one currency called the CFA, whilst all anglophone West Africa like Ghana and Nigeria each uses their own currency. Hence the sharp depreciation of currencies affecting anglophone countries more than francophone.
I beg to controlled by France, please. We don't want to be controlled by France. We beg you.
This week, wow.
Please keep it.
I can't even begin to. We pay e-levy for the telcos, but we don't want to pay e-levy to develop our own country. From Tema. Ghanaians don't need ex-President John Dramani Mahama to give us false hopes because we have already banked our hopes in President Akufo-Addo-led NPP government. We know that with all the pragmatic measures already in place, sooner than later, things will change for the better and Ghanaians shall enjoy better living conditions. We all know that things are hard nowadays because of the global pandemic. But fellow Ghanaians, ex-President John Dramani Mahama and his NDC people are not the alternative you, Yao, or Sankide from Taifa. Please, when are you discussing the NAPCO payment issues?
We discussed it. They've not been paid. You guys haven't been paid yet. NAPCO, let us know, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Hi, CAF. Ghanaians are not anti-tax. They want to know what their taxes are being used for. Accountability and transparency. That is all that Ghanaians want. John Pius from Kajano, the crab market. Thumbs up for the company dredging the nice river of Odo. Hope it will not be a 9-day wonder. More tilapia and mudfish will be swimming through it. I can see you love your seafood. Good morning. Is it true we pay our offerings willingly, so people must pay for their development? And so that's a question Jonathan is asking. Good morning, CAF and your great panelists. Oliver Bakavomawa should give us a break. If he has his own political agenda, he shouldn't disturb us. Since when did people go to make a donation to prisoners in a prison cell with brass band and a rowdy crowd? Oliver is misbehaving and we should call his bluff. Oh yeah, John, I can't say. Ghana has its own problems it is trying to resolve. Oliver shouldn't become a problem for us. Alhaji Dao says, economic management implies the capacity to undertake analysis, provide coherent policies, and issue timely signals. And indeed, I'm surprised managing directors of banks in Ghana could not speak to the Economic Management Committee of the government in the ongoing dollar exchange crisis, perhaps, is what you're trying to say, Alaji. Thank you for sending the message. Kaf, I want to ask your panelists, how do they see democracy, freedom of speech, and after speech under the leadership of human rights lawyer, President Nana Addo? Raphael says, I don't condone coup, but sometimes the behavior of politicians calls for it. Well, we don't condone coups either. Good morning, Kafi. Those who don't know what taxes are used for, the dredging of Odo River is one of the uses. Again, always I hear people say the e-levy is for everything. I want to know which of the taxes is not for everything so that we can cancel it. I don't know if received salary every month and ask for increment is going to take care of everything. So those are your thoughts that you've sent to us.
Okay.
And I'll hand it over back to you, Karen.
Yes, we have 9 minutes now to talk about Black Stars. So this team was under wraps, like, how do you wrap things? Like, I don't know. There's some game where you keep wrapping you open the package and the thing is not there. It's another wrapper. You open, and finally the thing is there. So that's what was happening with our team list. We didn't know what the team list was all about, you know. And I have a feeling this is why they didn't tell us what the team list was, because they were afraid of the Ghanaian media. Baby's the sharp teeth, some of us. So this is the squad, okay? Yeah. So Black Stars squad for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. I wish Thelma could come back and read. And I want specific emphasis on where they are coming from, okay? So goalkeepers, we'll start with that. Joseph Wallacott, what team is he coming from? He's coming from England, right?
Swindon Town, England, yes.
Abdul Manaf Nuruddin.
Cas Uspin, Belgium. St. Gallen, Switzerland.
Richard Ofori.
Orlando Pirates, South Africa.
These are all the goalkeepers. None from the GPL.
Nope.
Wingers, Isahaku Abdul Fatau.
Sporting CP, Portugal.
Osman Bukhari, FC Nantes.
FC Nantes, yep, France.
Joseph Pintel.
KRC Ghent, Belgium.
Yao Yeboah.
Columbus Crew, USA.
I don't see no.
And then the defenders, Dennis Odoe, FC Bruges, Belgium. Andy Riadom, Reading FC, England. Gideon Mensah, Bordeaux, France. Dennis Kosa, Hearts of Oak, Ghana.
Ping.
Montari Kamahedi, Ashdod FC, Israel. Daniel Amate, Leicester City, England. Joseph Aidu, Bordeaux, France. Alexander Jiku, Strasbourg, France. Abdulmomen, Victoria Guimarães, is it? Yep, yes. Portugal. Midfielders, Idrissi Baba, RCD Mallorca, Spain. Edmond Ado, FC Sheriff, Moldova. Mohamed Kudus, Ajax Amsterdam, Holland. Elisha Owusu, KA Gent, Belgium. Thomas Partey, of course, Arsenal in England. Daniel Kofitre, FC St. Pauli, Germany. And strikers, Felix Afenajan, AS Roma, Italy. Christopher Enchie, VFL, Bochum. And Jordan Ayew, Crystal Palace, England. Kwesi Rit, Holstein Kiel, Germany.
We have one player from the GPL.
Yeah.
One. Yeah. Out of, this is like 25 people?
27.
27 people. One. Does that mean, first of all, I want to know, are all these players first team players in every single club that they play for? Are they playing at the highest level in every club? That's what I want to know. And I just want to know why there's no space for like a most valued player from who was our best goalkeeper, who was our best striker, who was our best midfielder, who was our best defender. There's no space in GPL. That's my question. That's my question.
Kafi, you know, until some few days ago.
By the way, thank you, Thelma.
I think the number one keeper of Accra Suffolk was built, for this call-up.
Yeah.
Until he got injured, I think last week.
Okay.
And some of the lists you see here, like Isahaku Abdul Fatau, until some few weeks ago, he was part of GPL and was a consistent member of the Black Stars.
Okay.
He was part of the team that went to the Cup of Nations. But you see, Kafi, it's a very good question you asked, though, but it depends on the conditions that prevails in the local league. It's unfortunate that we don't have much to retain our players. So players now play with the motivation to move outside this country. Unlike Egypt, where you have a chunk of their players in their local domestic league.
Yeah.
they could command about 60% of collapse. It is because of the financial provisions in their league. They take good care of their players. They pay them $10,000 a month. Some are taking $5,000 a week. Look, it's the Egyptian league that even bought one of our best strikers, Agogo, from England to the Egyptian league.
So is it just a money issue?
It is a money issue. We are not making the league attractive to the players themselves to stay. Look, the prayer of each and every, I mean, you need to have your brother playing in Ghana. And you pray for him to leave this country to either join us now. That's the problem. But you see, Kwame, this place is, to me, it's the best we have so far. However, I was a bit disappointed. I've been following the performance of Sule Muntari. You know, he has revived his career in Accra as a folk. And consistently, this man has been playing very well. So I thought he would have been invited to serve as that experienced element in the team.
Like a Roger Miller.
Look at the midfield, young men, enterprising. Are you okay? Idris Baba, Edmond, apart from Party, who one could say has that experience and exposure, you would have expected that, look, just add Muntari to the team, let Muntari serve as that experienced element in the team, guiding the young ones, providing that sharp passes. You are going to play Nigeria, which is also quite a youthful team. Okay, and playing Nigeria, to me, I'm not scared at all. I mean, I'm not scared at all. We have all the scene around this particular match. It's a normal. It's like a class of playing Kotoko. I mean, Nigeria has always been that competitive neighbors whenever it comes to playing them. I expected this coach should have added some experience element to the team. But to your question, this is the best team we have so far.
No Dede?
Oh, Dede's, I mean, Dede had a red card.
Okay,
so he can't play.
He can't play.
And
right.
Even I can see Jordan's name here, yes. But I learned he has COVID.
But I heard that was fake, false news as well.
We don't, because I wasn't expecting
this name. Recently, yeah.
No, I think the last one he didn't play. So I don't know why his name is here. But even that, apart from this, I mean, I'm very happy that today we have Afena John joining us. And then I don't know much about Christopher Entry Ejay, but he plays in Bochum, that is Germany.
Are you saying that there's only one player from the GPL who deserves to be in the national team?
To be frank with you, Kafui.
One?
To be frank with you, if they had not called Dennis Kosa, then I think they were not watching the GPL. This is a young man who was, I mean, he was bought from Drafts, a Division 1 team. And his first 2 matches in the GPL won him the most valuable player 2 consecutive times. And have been consistent playing. And this is not just I mean, he's been playing in Ghana for so many years. But trust me, give this man a year to 2 years, 6 months to a year, he will leave the short of the GPL because he wouldn't get that best of financial incentives.
He'll go to Afghanistan or India,
you.
And then he'll get a call-up.
Look, one of the best midfielders of Accra Asofok, Emmanuel Neti, is in Iraq playing 2nd division.
Iraq?
I'm telling you. I mean, these are the truth. The gospel. Best defenders.
The Taliban
best
just took over
midfielders.
Iraq.
Best midfielders in Accra Asofok is playing in Iraq. Not even 2nd division. That is how bad our local league is when it comes to financial motivation. How on earth do you expect a player who won with the league with a domestic club to be transferred?
2nd division Iraq.
It's because of money.
Okay.
Yes,
good analysis. You take us home.
Yeah, it tells me that we don't have a master plan for our national team.
Yeah.
Because ordinarily we should have even quotas. Now look, for our national team, we need a certain percentage from the GPL.
Yeah.
And then it's also a way of telling those playing the GPL
it's motivation.
It's motivation.
Yes.
Now look at over 98% foreign. So what you are telling them is that they should aim at going to foreign. Even when they go to Togo, they are playing a foreign team and they will be called in.
Exactly.
And my other challenge is, how long have they played as a team?
Question.
You see, you bring this Fefrekobo thing must stop. It must stop. I mean, what is this? 1 week to the game, then you bring this person from Belgium, this person from Kuwait, this person from Switzerland, and then they will not play as a team for even more than 2 weeks. And
not even 1 week.
I mean,
some are still arriving. Some are still arriving.
I think This is our taxpayers' money is going there. They must have a short to medium term strategy of maintaining and developing a sustainable and a viable national team. This Kobo thing must stop.
The word for this morning is Kobo. Call, may they go play. Hashtag. Keep it right here. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I know football will always excite passions. Dr. Osai is Director General for the Internal Audit Agency, I believe.
That's right.
And Professor John Mauto is the Dean for the School of Graduate Studies at UPSA. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Let's pray that we win that game.
Amen.
I spoke to a coach and he says, listen, if we don't get 3-0 in Babayara, forget it. We have to get them 3-0 to take us insurance to go back to Nigeria. Let's see how that happens. Thank you very much. Keep watching GTV. We've got a conversation on national service coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere.
I am 7 years old. Beep, beep, beep.
I am 4 years old.
We are 12 years old.
It's been 1 year since I started my antiretroviral treatment.
You can live a long, productive life with antiretroviral treatment. With antiretroviral treatment, HIV-positive expectant mothers can have healthy HIV-negative babies. Go to the nearest health center, test and know your HIV status. If you are positive, ask about antiretroviral treatment and you will receive help. Antiretroviral treatment is your only option for a long and fulfilling life.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
All SIM cards in Ghana must be registered again with only the Ghana card. Yes, only the Ghana card.
You will not be able to make voice calls, use mobile money services, internet, and all other services linked to your SIM card if you don't.
To register, dial *404# and follow the prompts. You will be required to send the following details on your Ghana card: Ghana card number, surname, first name, date of birth, and sex.
You will then receive a special code which you will present to your nearest service provider agent or customer care center for your biometric details to be captured. Remember to add your digital address.
Dial *404# on your phone to start registering your SIM card today.
For more information, contact your service provider on 100 or the National Communications Authority on toll-free number 0800 110622. Register your SIM card to stay connected.
In the first 2 years, your baby will experience amazing growth in so many ways. They need the right nutrition. With Cerelac, 1 bowl of goodness a day provides the wholesomeness of carefully selected grains, the Iron Plus, which helps support brain development, and the yummy taste baby loves, assuring you the right nutrition in 1 bowl. Cerelac, it's all good, Mom.
This advert is FDA approved.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat.
Injija woman malaria enka won to them. Lufat, a malaria drop a.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat, a 2 malaria sententem. FDA, Ashasa, a Jedi in Kratoi Ajatus.
From 1921 to 2021.
The journey to our centenary has been amazingly worthy. Azar Group is 100 years and continues to achieve greatness.
Main brands which were in the company are Azar Tex, which is an emulsion paint, texture paints, which we were the first people to produce it in Ghana, and Azar Gloss, which is oil paint. We were the first people to produce the carpenter's glue. Now we have new products like silicone paint.
Join Azar Group Celebrate 100 years and to create another brilliant 100 years together.
Hey, tell me what? Tell me what? Hey, tell me what? Tell me, beer.
They ma worry me. Watch me, you come 1 week, Mr. Oh, now who papa?
Yes. Oga, now then. Senior, name me new ma. Cut down, my business is a collapse. I'm out of bank. So who take quick credit in Ghana? Quick credit? Yes, quick credit. Who pesika? We are government and a private worker. Who pesika they are till hot so. We are busumi ejuma. Who yes sikadi bibin tempai so. Quick credit be ma loan. Am what you kakra. Na enije sem kese ne say. A collateral free loaner, susu, savings, account opening, and a deposit as MBL. You hear me say, Ghana card. 2022 year, 1 year Juma, now 1 hour young. Who need excuse here? Credit to 03022 00390 and 05969 20833. But quick credit.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling healthy.
Yeah, all the time. Okay, let's take a peek. I brought my spine.
There are certain things that we do to help the children with their brushing.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
You want it served buffet style?
On-site restaurant.
Complimentary breakfast?
Off of your plate should be vegetables. So in my lifetime, I haven't seen Ghana Black Stars win an African Cup.
Can I show what is written on the back?
Yes, definitely.
Where's the camera?
Just stand and turn.
So what's your pleasure, Dan Botras, at that time of the morning? So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
We've got you covered with a trusted team.
Thanks for staying on. It's still Breakfast Live on GTV. National service personnel have complained that they are owed some months in arrears of their allowances, and we are asking the question of why. At the table, the National Service Secretariat Director of Corporate Affairs has joined us, Mr. Armstrong Essa, and he's here to answer our questions and yours. Be sure to send them across to us on our WhatsApp number 05555 Mr. Essa, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Thelma.
So we just want to establish what the actual situation is. So we'll speak to the president of the National Service Personnel Association, and then we'll get a better understanding of what the situation is, and then you can offer us some answers if you would. So the president of NASPA is joining us on the phone, Mr. Emmanuel Brimpong Akosa. Good morning.
Good morning, Emma.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Akosa.
Thank you.
How much arrears are you owed? What exactly is the situation?
Okay, Thelma, I'll take this opportunity to send National Service Personnel, National Leadership greetings to all national service persons in the country. And also, we wish to acknowledge the fact that their concerns and also their needs are being well represented. And we are hoping that we find lasting solution to some of their plight. Having said that, Thelma, we shouldn't trivialize this matter. Each day, every day, we have calls from our personnel, our members, complaining about the hardship, the economic hardship, and how life is treating them. And we'd like to state that upon numerous and series of consultations, we can confirm from management that hopefully by the close of today and also by tomorrow morning, we are going to have something positive. We are talking about 2 months or 3 months arrears of national service personnel allowance, and it has brought an unbearable hardship to our people. And all what we are saying is that our people need resource, and the person sitting home watching me now wish that at the end of the day, they receive their monthly salaries without any delay. So we charge the scheme that whatever way they could do to solve this challenge, they should find ways to do it, whilst we also entreat personnel to also submit their monthly evaluation form on time and make sure that at least they get them verified or validated. And whilst we are also charging management to make sure that they forward say to controller and also follow up for a successful process. And we didn't start here, and we started our conversation last year during NASPA week celebration, where the leadership pleaded with government that something should be done with our allowance. The last time, Thelma, our allowance was somewhere 2017, where this current government increased our allowance from 350 to 559 now. And looking at the period from 2017 to 2022, there have been inflation, there have been rising costs of living and also standard of living. Fuels have gone up, rent, foodstuffs, and other goods and services are also gone up. And all what we are saying is that we are pleading with government if something could be done about it. And we didn't end there. After that said meeting, we went straight to Parliament and we engaged further with Education and also Finance Committee. And that time, the newly appointed director for NSS was also in place. We met management and we made our case known that this is what our people are saying. Even at the end of the month, just transportation could eat all the allowance of our personnel, which bring hardship and untold difficulties to them. So all what we are saying that if management and government can't increase our allowance, they shouldn't even delay our allowance. All what we expect is that we want results, and at the end of every month, we want our salary without any delays. Thank you.
So how are you coping with the delays? I'm thinking that you may have to resort to other means of raising money so you can keep going to work.
That's very true, Thelma. The ordinary NSP living in, let's say, Kaswa, has to pick transportation every day to the ministry to attend to his work. And this NSP has to buy food, has to pay rent, has to pay electricity and other responsibilities they have to attend to. Some of them have to go for loans, some of them have to rely on their relatives and friends before they can get something for themselves. So it has brought some hardships and also difficulties to our people. And there is something, as I said, we shouldn't trivialize it. We should make sure that at least we do something as leadership, and we should do something as management and government. And as I rightly said, before our communique coming out Saturday morning, we met management last Friday, and even Saturday morning before the communique coming out, we had confirmation, and I can authoritatively say that personnel genuine allowance could be today, by the end of today or early tomorrow morning. So let's be hopeful, and at the end of the day, we don't want to hear any news again concerning the delay. And all what we want is for our monies to be paid at the end of the day. And whilst they pay the genuine allowance, we implore management to fast track the process of paying February and also March allowance as soon as possible.
Mr. Kosa, if you may, stay with us for a little while. The Director of Corporate Affairs of the National Service Secretariat is here, and I'll try to get him to address some of your concerns and then get back to you for what your thoughts on his responses would be, if you have the time.
Thank you.
All right. So Mr. Armstrong Esai is the Director of Corporate Affairs of the National Service Secretariat, and he's here to answer mainly the question of why the delay, Mr. Esai.
Thank you, Thelma. Thank you so much. You're looking great in your morning apparel.
Thank you. Mighty Fanti heritage.
That's nice. That's nice. You're looking so great.
Thank you.
So first of all, I would want to use the opportunity to greet our national service personnel who are watching us or listening to your other radio networks. We know the coverage that GTV has, and so it's important I greet all of them. Now, going back to the issues the president has raised and the reason why we are here. First of all, we want to mention and state to all of them that the management of National Service Scheme understands the concerns and the plight of the National Service personnel regarding the delay in the payment of the outstanding 2 months. And while doing that, it is also important for us to mention that we appreciate them. We highly commend the National Service personnel for their continued commitment to serving Ghana in the face of the delay of their allowances. But straight to the point, there has been some kind of misreporting, and listening to the president, I think a similar kind of misreporting was also done. There's been some kind of misreporting in other cycles on other platforms regarding the number of months we do owe the personnel. I'd want to state it on your platform that we do owe the National Service personnel 2 months, and that is the fact.
That's January and February.
That is January and February.
So you don't owe anybody December allowances, because so we are hearing from some that they have not received allowances for December.
If we can just go a little bit into history of payment in just recent times, you'll notice that even in December, if you cross-check with other National Service personnel, even in December, management of National Service Scheme under Honorable Osei SB entry paid the personnel twice. What it meant was that for the month of November, we paid them in early December. And so the thinking that went into the double payment for them was that every December has its own hardships. Purchases go up, other desires go up. So in that case, management decided that the payment for December has to be done early. And so at the time we were paying the November, management decided to pay the National Service personnel that of December. And so we paid them double. You can open up your phone lines and cross-check. Anybody
but
who
they didn't know they were receiving their December allowances and not perhaps a Christmas bonus.
Oh, no, yeah, but it was made clear to them. Yes, because the normal process we've been using to pay them the allowances was just the normal process we used. And that could be from all other sources.
That came in early December.
So that came in early December.
That
so
double
anybody
came in early December.
In December.
Okay.
So anybody who may or might not have received his allowances then probably could be attributed to some cause, probably because the person has a problem with his e-switch account. Probably the person did not download the appraisal form, did not get it signed by his supervisor, or probably it was due to a late submission of the endorsed forms. But I would want to state it on your platform that National Service cleared the arrears up to December, and we do owe them January, February. Now, this is the good news. I have said that it is important somebody should have witnessed the kind of speed and energy with which the management of National Service Scheme has assiduously worked around the clock to get these arrears cleared in the shortest possible time. Regarding the January allowances, I can also confirm to you, latest by tomorrow, which is Wednesday, all National Service personnel will be paid their January allowances. In fact, I can confirm to you it's been paid, but it has not yet reflected in their e-switch account. And so I can put it out there that by close of tomorrow, the January allowances will be paid to the National Service personnel. Then regarding the February allowance or the arrears, already all the steps that management is supposed to take, every single process that we're supposed to go through to clear the February allowances have also been done. And in fact, the stages are in a very advanced stage. And so we can assure them that immediately after the payment of January is done, within the shortest possible time, the February allowances will also be cleared. But one good thing about National Service Scheme, we've all done our national service before. Nobody can point to any time in history where the allowances of the personnel have gone bad. Let me borrow the words of accountant. They say no debt is a bad debt. With regards to national service, because it's a strategic institution that houses the future leaders of this country, there has not been a single point in history within national service where there has been delay, and because there has been delay, the allowances were not paid at all.
Okay.
And so we want to establish that we sympathize with them. We they have raised the agitation they have raised, but we want to assure them by tomorrow, by close of tomorrow, they would have the January allowances paid, and then the February allowances would also follow.
We are talking about a payment of allowances that last happened in the first week of December. We are almost towards the end of March, and the payments have not been made. So no matter how assiduous and how fast you work on things, fact remains 3 months. These, our brothers and sisters, have not received monies. How are you expecting them to cope? And they should still keep going to work and to do what is assigned them at their workplaces.
And I think that I will have to repeat the fact I mentioned to you, that we do owe them 2 months. Then by close of tomorrow, it will be left.
I'm not denying you. I'm saying that the last payment came in the early part of December, as per what you are just telling me now. And no other payment has hit the account since the first week of December payment was made.
You are right.
So from then, we've gone through Christmas, we've gone through New Year, we've gone through, Valentine's Day, some might say. We've gone through even Independence Day in March. We're in Heritage Month. So if somebody wants to do something for travel the country, they can't do that because since December that the last money came.
Firma, these are real concerns we all share. It is not the wish of the management of National Service Scheme to delay the payment of our personnel. If you study the trend of our payment, we've always been prompt.
So what caused this delay?
Yeah, it was because of a major challenge we faced. But the most important
What was the major challenge?
Yes, the challenge cannot be discussed on air. But the most important aspect of this discussion is that the challenge has been cleared for the payment to be done. And so once the challenge has been cleared for the payment to be done, we would assure them that it is not in any way going to affect the payment of the allowances for the month of March.
You can't disclose what caused the delay. How can they rely on the assurance that you're giving that it won't happen again?
They can rely on us because in recent history of our payment, this is the first time that the allowances have delayed to that extent. So what it means that we've been very prompt in the payment of the allowances to all of them. And like I said, the payment for March is not going to be affected by this delay at all, because everything that we're supposed to do, management has done it. And so we just want to call upon all the national service personnel. And I'm sure this time they've already downloaded the appraisal forms for the month of March. And then they've submitted it. I'm sure it's gotten to the regional office because it has to go through some validation. Then it comes to the head office, to the management for some audit. The management would forward it to controller for processing.
If I understand what you're saying correctly, you're saying that the March payment will go ahead as scheduled.
Exactly.
What date were you expecting to pay March allowances, roughly?
No, I can't put it, but obviously the allowances are supposed to be just like government workers. They are supposed to be paid.
So towards the end of the early next week, perhaps.
So what I can assure them is that they should expect their March allowances at the usual date they've been receiving their allowances.
Okay, but you're saying that tomorrow January will drop.
Sure.
And then so January drops tomorrow.
Sure.
Sometime next week, March drops, and then soon after that, February will come. So it's January, March, and then back to February, and then those who drop before the April allowance.
Yes, so I said by close of tomorrow, January will drop, and soon, very soon after January payment drops, February will also come, while the March allowances are also being processed. And so that has to be understood. But Thelma, we've listened to a lot of commentary on some of these issues, and we want to use your platform. We know how far it goes, and we believe that the National Service Scheme, it's so strategic, and because it's the government institution that deals with formulating policies and structures for the National Service Program. And we want to plead with people. This is so strategic, and we will not want anybody to do politics with this, because there have been some couple of statements, some kind of statement regarding the delay, and people are using it to run all kinds of commentary.
I've heard a few. Do you want to address the few that you have heard?
It's important. It's very important. And management of National Service Scheme would not allow anybody, no politician, would not allow any politician to play politics with this. Look, National Service is a home to graduates of diverse backgrounds, graduates of diverse religious and cultural backgrounds. And so the essence for us, our main objective, apart from what is enshrined in the Act that established the National Service Scheme, is to build national cohesion, is to build national unity. And that is why over the years, National Service Scheme has not been associated with any kind of political persuasion. And so we will not allow anybody, for the sake of posterity, to handle the issues of National Service Scheme with politics. So people, yesterday, the former president made a statement, and it was carried by a lot of networks, including yours, and made an untruth statement regarding the delays, referencing and saying so many months National Service personnel have not been paid, and this has been going on over the months, which is absolutely not true. So we want to appeal to all of them. All politicians should stay away from National Service Scheme. These are young men and women who are transitioning from student life into adult, mature working life. This is not the time for any politician to play politics with the lives of these ones. And so we want to beg you, anybody out there, this is not. But you see, in this world, Thelma, bad news in our part of the world, bad news sells bigger and faster than good news. I understand bad news is supposed to sell because it has to be addressed. But once there are good news, it must also sell. I understand the issue of the delay in the payment of the allowance is key. Money is key. Bible even says it, that food is for laughter, wine is for merrymaking, money answereth it all. But when it comes to the National Service Scheme, there are other equally important interventions that the management of National Service Scheme and the Honorable CSCB entry has brought, which has made life, the entire national service life of the personnel, so interesting. Now, let me just, within 1 minute, run you through it. The National Service starts from receiving class list from accredited tertiary institutions. Hitherto, the class list was submitted on pen drives and on hard sheet papers, which made the situation so vulnerable to foreign invasions. You understand what I mean? Impersonations and all kinds of. Today, as we speak, our entry has brought together almost 400 registers of all accredited tertiary institutions. We've built well encrypted, well secure portal for them. Just 2 weeks ago, we met all of them at GIMPA. Today, they can just sit in their offices and do proper interaction with us with no foreign invasion into their platforms. Now you go into the registration of National Service personnel. It's been improved. Efficiency has been brought there. You remember just recently, about 2 months ago, we introduced what we call the metric app. And the essence of the metric app was to speed up the registration process so that our personnel would not spend much time in queue. And that was what actually even saved Ghana 101 million Ghana cedis. And today, everything, and finally, Thelma, we have a new vision at National Service Scheme. We deploy with the end in mind. And what end are we talking about? We are talking about employment for the personnel. And today, we even have a new slogan called deployment for employment. And so every single deployment we are doing, we've gone into partnership with a lot of organizations in Ghana which receive our national service personnel to train them. Let me break it on your network before we get to the next issue. For the 2022-2023 national service postings, a lot of government institutions will cry. They would come begging national service scheme for national service personnel. Because we've noticed any organization, any user agency that does not put to good use our national service personnel, the skills and the abilities of our national service personnel would really come to us begging. Because today we've built partnerships, we've built alliances with organizations that are training the competencies of our national service personnel. So these are some of the interventions we are doing. We have not slept on the delay. Management has worked assiduously, and that is why tomorrow we are going to pay them. And immediately after tomorrow, the February allowances would also come.
We are still on the line with Mr. Emmanuel Brimpong Akosa, who's president of the National Service Personnel Association. Mr. Akosa, you've listened to what Mr. Esa said. How do you respond to what he's told us this morning?
Thelma, we must be honest. Government is doing its best amidst this current situation. We find fuel price increasing across the globe, even in Nigeria, US. But it's also terrible not to pay NSPs in this current situation. So all what we ask for is at the end of every month, personnel could have something to hold on, something they could use as their transportation from their homes to the office, something they can use to buy food, something they can use to buy rent, electricity, and other responsibilities. So we are just asking. He gave number of reasons why the delay happened. And I know their experts, their management, they've been placed in the helms of affairs to solve these kind of issues, to make sure that at least we find lasting solutions to apply it and also seek the welfare of our NSPs. So it must be on record also that we have few cases due to some technical issue with their portal. They were not able to receive their allowance from October to December, which he said is not going to be a bad debt. It can never be a bad debt. So far as they've submitted their monthly evaluation form, and again, it has been processed, they are going to receive their monies from that October and December, those few NSPs left. And whilst we wait per their confirmation that let's look by the close of today and tomorrow morning, we are going to receive the genuine allowance. We are hopeful, and at the end of tomorrow, we don't want to hear anything apart from those monies has hit our account and personnel could go to their various banks or financial services with their e-switch to get their monies. And then, as I said, we again implore government and management that if something could be done about the increment of our allowance. The last time we discussed this, they told us that budget had been already read. So they hope that in the subsequent ones, they could factor the increment. So we won't sit there as national leadership. All what we can do is we want to assure our people and want to let them know that with our commitment and dedication towards their welfare, we will make sure that together with management we have series upon series of deliberation to find lasting solution to their plight. And again, we want to make sure that the personnel do their duty by submitting their monthly evaluation form every month before 15th of every month, to make sure that at least management won't have any excuse to pay them at the end of every month. Whilst we implore the charge government to also go ahead and work hard for the betterment and the welfare of our personnel. Thank you very much.
Right, keep holding on for me if you could. We'll take a few messages, but I'll put your other concern to the Director of Corporate Affairs about the increases. Mr. Essa, are you looking to increase allowances? Because you heard what the President said, 350 thereabout in 2017 increased to 599. And now 2022, still 599. Are you going to abide by the promise that Mr. Kosa said you made to them, that it may be incorporated in a next budget, which has been read?
I think that this a very good discussion, a subject that has been discussed, and we can assure them that whatever management is supposed to do regarding the possible increase in the allowance is being done. And so it's an issue that management alone can't take decision, but whatever effort that management is supposed to put in so that it goes through the hierarchy. We have a mother ministry supposed to go through them and then finally to cabinet, and whatever step that we're supposed to take to ensure that conditions regarding the allowances are better, we can assure them that management is committed to it.
You can join the conversation via WhatsApp number 055-55-61034, and CAF is ready to tell us your thoughts on the screen now. CAF?
So this is from WhatsApp. I'm Owusu Jemfi, NSS personnel at GRA, talking about the allowance. Payment hasn't been made for 3 months because we have submitted our March monthly evaluation form. What do you say to that, Mr. Essa? It says payment hasn't been made, 3 months. Is there something wrong?
Yes. Can I react to it?
Yes, please.
Yes. So in this case, the person has added the month of March, but let's be honest. Of course, the process actually starts from 15th of every month. That is where we allow them to go onto their portal to download. And so, but let's be honest, March hasn't ended yet. But we will not have any issue with any of them when they add March. But practically speaking, March hasn't ended. You are a government employee. I am. We've not received March allowances or and March salaries. Yes. And so we do not want to add the month of March to it.
Okay. Moses, it's not true that there have not been any delayed payment that wasn't paid. I did my service in 2017, 2018. I wasn't paid for October and November 2017. I went to the office at Adabaka. October was paid. Maybe November's will be paid me tomorrow. Very bad. I even called their designated numbers several times, and they confirmed that they will pay. But you want to decide the politicization of the payments and not the challenges affecting payments. That can't be right. And he thinks you are talking like a politician. I'm sorry, you don't want to comment on that. If you want to comment, no problem. Please, morning, GTV. Please, they keep saying January. What happened to December? Those who haven't been paid for December and November, what happens to those people?
No, it means that those who have not been paid for December have specific challenges. Yes, but once you open your phone lines or once you are getting the message, what I'm saying can be proven. So anybody who has not received the December allowance means that he has a particular challenge. Probably he has a problem with his e-switch. Probably he has a problem with his appraiser form.
What should he do?
So in that case, if he has a problem with the he should go back to his supervisor, his HR. If the person has been posted to GTV, the appraiser form is supposed to be signed by any designated officer here. If it is not signed and submitted to us, it will be rejected. Okay. So we should know exactly what could be the causes for the individual cases.
What number can he call?
Yes, they have a call center, and on their portal, the portal is very active. They have their individual portal. They've been chatting with our call center, so they should make use of.
This is Amwa Matthew, National Service Person. Delay of allowance is just about substandard leadership, where in March ending, he's talking about paying January allowance. Does that make sense at all? Was our money not budgeted for and released? They should stop playing politics with our lives. To our NASMA president, he has failed woefully. How on earth can he say NSP allowances were increased in 2017 by the current government?
Okay. And I think we said that it was because of some challenge, and that is why these 2 months are now going to be cleared. And so that challenge, assure them that
a challenge which you didn't disclose to us.
Yes,
but you said has been worked on.
Yes, it's been worked on.
But were the monies released for the payment of the allowances for the personnel?
And so they're going to be paid by close of tomorrow.
Were the allowances released? Were the monies released for the allowances to be paid?
They are going to be paid by close of tomorrow.
More messages?
More messages?
Yes. More messages. What is the NSS chap saying? That they don't owe personnel cash because the former president commented thereon. If you care to know, we outside the National Service are feeling the pinch, giving those close to us TNT and all that. Pay them and stop the sermon, says Osei Kwabena at Efidiasi in Ashanti. Good morning. It's very painful when you want to serve your nation under this uncaring style of honoring our effort to serve our nation. I don't think that if that is how our leaders are treated, I don't think our leaders are treated this way on their salaries. If they go through our hardships, they will immediately allocate effort to pay us. Thank you, says Richard. Another one. The gentleman in your studios is saying politics should be taken out of national service issues, which I agree to. But all political in nature, right from the condemnation of the former president's statement and how the service is working. He is thereby, by virtue of his political affiliation with the current government, so he will be the last person to advise people to refrain from meddling in politics with NSS. That's Abdul from Medina. Says you are playing politics.
I don't think so. I don't know which part or which portion of my statement suggests.
You said you condemned the former president's statement.
No, but so yeah, because he parodied on truth, and he said that National Service Scheme owes them so many months, which is not true. So I was only advising the public, and it was not. The statement was not directed to the former president alone. It was directed to any politician. We do not want any politician to interfere with the operations of National Service.
Is it not true though that people are owed November, December, January, February?
That's not true. So this is some
people
kind
are not owed. People have been paid.
We don't owe them November. We don't owe them December. We owe them January, February.
So everybody has been paid up to December.
For my information, anybody who has not been paid would have specific challenge with his system. But I can put it out there. It can be verified from all sources that we have paid them up to the month of December. It is January, February that we've not paid them. Okay. And we have established that by close of tomorrow, January will drop. Soon after, February will drop.
How soon after? How is the soon? How soon is the after?
Soon, very soon.
No, that's a political, that's a political response. You are able to tell us that January will land tomorrow.
Yes.
How about February?
The February, you know, I want to speak to fact. And we work with systems. We work with decisions. I can confidently tell you, for the month of February, it's over 98% complete. The process has been completed. But once I have not received authorization as to the specific date, you are a communication person. Okay. You should understand the way we handle
monthly, though, how much does the government pay national service people monthly? I mean, in total, the total lump sum.
359.
Yes, I know. But if you add everything up, how much is coming out?
No, but every year, I think we just have to do some computation, because national service every year we control almost 100,000 Ghanaian graduates. Okay. And so
if you multiply by 559,
then you can just come up with it.
Good morning, Thelma. I want you to ask Mr. Essa if he has not been paid salary of January and February because the NSS is in difficult times. Rasbingi wants to know whether you've received your salary.
I'm sure there's cash.
Is the NSS in financial distress?
No. Why are you suggesting?
No, I'm not suggesting. Someone is asking if the NSS is in difficult times, and I'm asking you, are you in difficult times?
No, we are not. But this question seems to be personal, because my name is there. It's not NSS.
Yes.
And so, yes, he's getting too personal. And
but have you been paid, though? You can tell us.
You are getting personal.
Why?
Yes, with this.
You're not doing personal business here.
Of course, I think it's important, and I have established it. We understand the concerns of the National Service personnel. We understand every bit of agitation and the concern, the plight they have raised.
Have you been paid, though?
And that is why we are always very happy, first of all, and humble to say we regret for the delay in the payment of allowances to them.
Has your salary delayed?
So we would not just want to get so personal. My brother Ras
has the salary of the Director of Corporate Affairs at NSS delayed?
So I would just say hi to my brother Ras Bingi, and I think the comment is personal. Yes.
That's which means you've been paid. CAF is asking about your payment side, but I'm asking about the second part of his question, where he's saying because the NSS is in difficult times. Is the NSS in difficult times?
I don't understand where this is coming from, but let me.
It's coming from the screen.
Yes. So let me just answer this.
Okay.
NSS has never laid claim to a perfect institution ever, and I'm not sure GTV can just point at me and tell me that GTV is a perfect institution.
The issue is not about GTV. Yeah. It's not about the perfection of NSS.
No, it's important.
A simple question.
But that's not the question.
Have you been paid?
No,
so that you can understand.
And I'm saying
those
that
who have
my
not
brother
been paid.
Ras is getting personal, but I'm saying that we have never laid claim to a perfect institution.
That's not his point.
And so we could have our own challenge. Of course, I did tell you that the delay was occasioned by some challenge which has been cleared, which has been solved. And so for that alone, you should know that we have very good management handling affairs of the scheme.
More messages.
Hi, plenty. Hi, Thelma, good morning. The government isn't being true to the NSS in this country, says Okujeto Jacob from Hohwe. Can you answer that? Please tell the man where we were. I really don't. He says, well, he claims the president was using NSS to play politics. Views are not my views, your views. I like the way GTV is deliberating on NSS allowances. I wish you could do the same on teachers and nurses allowances. You have given us a production cue. We are thinking about it. Looking at the economic hardship, I believe NSS leadership should do better. Also, evaluation forms should be made digital. Are the evaluation forms digital?
As we speak, the monthly evaluation form is not digital, but a lot of the processes they go through has been digitized.
But the key one is not.
Yeah, but it's always a step at it's always a step at a time. You remember those days when some of us were doing our service? For every single stage we had to go through, we had to submit hard copies. But today, from the deployment registration stage to the post-deployment registration stage, every part within that registration has been digitized.
Okay.
And that is why today, because of the innovation at National Service Scheme, you can go through the entire cycle of registration, even on your phone.
Fantastic. You guys
yes. So we'll get there.
Ose Kwabena, if you just say Ashanti, the irony is the staff at NSS, have they been paid their January and February salaries, or are those salaries outstanding? And it's a direct question to you. He said, Armstrong, have you been paid yourself?
So, more questions?
No, that's the question.
Chief, I think that I have answered this question, and I understand what we're doing, and exactly that's...
Yeah, these are not my questions, so these are here.
Yeah, I understand, but I've already answered, so it could be skipped.
Have you been paid?
Yeah, I've answered it. It should be skipped. It should be skipped.
No, have you been paid?
I have answered the question, and so I think it should be skipped.
Good morning. Those of you who received our monies directly from MOH has not been paid for a whole year. Just last week, they decided to make payments. They paid some and left others. Can you believe we are even done with our 1 year service and they are too bad? So some people are being owed money after having done their service for a year. Is that possible?
That's not possible. That could be a peculiar case. And such people should feel free to walk to any of the district or regional offices for resolution.
Good morning, team. Please, I want to know if a personnel would be paid even if his form submission is delayed.
Will be paid, but it means that the payment will also delay. So these are some of the challenges, and we just have to be honest with some of these facts.
Okay.
It will be paid, but it will delay.
It will delay. Now, they said the charges for the 2 yards of NSS cloth is, according to him, thievery. Some of them never got theirs even after their service in Pool.
How much is the charge? To pay for
How much is the charge for the cloth?
These are matters for the association. I know NASPA has its own governing body. It has its own executive. And then they take such decisions at their congresses to see how they
is Mr. President still on the Zoom call with us? Perhaps we can put that question to you, Mr. Emmanuel Brimpong. You're president of NASPA. Someone is asking why you charge for the NSS cloth?
How much is it?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, we are talking about the NSS cloth, and I want to ask you, how much is a yard of the cloth, and why are you selling it to service personnel?
Okay, we must state on record that the NSS cloth was introduced somewhere 2017 by the scheme, which after Congress resolution, they brought it forth for the purpose of recognition and also uniformity. They brought that particular cloth. And I must say, we've been engaging management on the specific cost of that particular cloth.
Management and of the National Service Secretariat or the association?
I came to meet that particular cloth and also that particular fee.
How much is it?
Attached to the cloth. I think it's around 50 cedis per yard.
Around 50 cedis per yard?
Yes, for 2 yards.
50 cedis for 2 yards.
We've been engaging management very well. And we must state it clear again that it's not NASPA. It's not NASPA cloth, but rather NSS cloth.
But the Director of Corporate Affairs is here, and he's saying that he doesn't know about the cloth and that it lies within the ambit of the association to explain. So who is really in charge of the cloth? We're talking about personnel who haven't even received some of the allowances this year.
Very well, currently is the management of NSS who are in charge. But the resolution was passed somewhere 2017 by NASPA national executives at our national congress. Okay. So if you talk about how it all started, it was started through a resolution.
Okay, so if I'm understanding, Mr.
NASPA executive in 2017, but when it comes to the management of the cloth, it's been done by the service at this current moment. Okay,
so here's some clarity being offered by Mr. Akosa here, that it was the NSS that brought the idea, and that they just bought into it, and they are sort of like the implementers. If I understand what Emmanuel is saying correctly.
That is not what let me clarify.
Can I please go ahead?
What I said was that introduction and resolution was brought forth during 2017 NASPA Congress, which that resolution was passed. But this current situation of the NASPA clause is being managed by the scheme. So if you ask me, that's the clarity.
Okay, Mr. Esai, you want to respond?
Yes. I think that here the president made the point clear. He said that the resolution was taken at their national congress, and so.
But you are in charge of it. You introduced.
Yeah, but it's an association. It's an association that has a governing body. It has a national executive council. They have the president. They have.
I'm still not clear about who sets the rates and who we should ask.
Yeah, so
the question about the prices,
because
I have the president of NASPA here and you are director of corporate affairs, and I still don't have an answer.
No, but he's saying that they took the decision at their national congress.
Who receives the money? Into whose bank account does this 60 cedis a month go?
So these are the questions that have to be properly interrogated and be answered.
NSS?
No, but I told you that there's some kind of thin line between the scheme and NASPA. Yes, I represent the scheme. I speak on all matters that bother on national service scheme. But there are some, for instance, when they were taking the decisions.
Takes the money?
Can I respond to the questions one after that? For instance, when he made reference to the fact that they took the resolution at their national congress, I was not there. They decided to take that decision to brand themselves. So these are the matters for the association. Of course, they work under because it's an association that works under the scheme. They do a lot of engagement with management. But I am happy that he mentioned that they took the decision at their national congress.
Can we ask the chap on Zoom who receives that 60 cedis?
Okay,
because
Mr.
is saying that it's actually 60 cedis.
Does the money come to you, Mr. President? Does it come to NASPA?
No, it doesn't come to NASPA. It comes to the account of the scheme. But I would like to reiterate that during 2017 NASPA Congress, that's where this decision was made. But when it comes to the operation and the management of that particular cloth, it's been done by NSS, because every year there's new leadership of the association. That's where, when it comes to the management and the operation of that particular cloth, is being done by the scheme, and all the monies are being sent straight to the scheme's account and not NASPA's account.
Emmanuel, I'll give you perhaps a minute to make your final submissions, because we're going to have to wrap up this very quickly. Kaf, if you have...
yeah, there seems to be some confusion about the cost of the cloth, because he said 50, Tonyeli said 60 cedis. Another person say NSS cloth should be optional, but they made it mandatory for all personnel. The cloth is 70 cedis for 2 yards. Who needs NSS cloth? The 559 cedis is not enough for the personnel. Then you deduct 70 cedis every month for 12 months.
So am I getting the understanding that it's deducted at source, at the point when the monies are paid, and it's a one-time payment? Is that the understanding? Am I getting the right understanding, Mr. Akosa?
No, ma, it's one-time payment.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a one-time payment of how much?
Of 50 cedis, as I said.
Okay, so those who have been charged 70 cedis, they are owed 20 Ghana.
Very well, because 50 cedis was decided by the scheme during that Congress. Okay. And I can authoritatively state that it's been charged 50 cedis per every year, for the sake of uniformity and also recognition.
A minute, so you make your final submissions, Mr.
Okay, so, I would like to urge all NSPs in the country to remain calm, whilst the national leadership continue to engage management and government. And we'd like to state that the government and management should prioritize our plight by paying and making sure that at the end of every month, personnel receive their monthly allowance without any delayance. And we'd like to reiterate our commitment and dedication to the work as NASPA president and with my executive, that we continue to find pragmatic ways, we continue to engage and deliberate to management and other government stakeholders to find lasting solutions to some of their plight and also problem. And we hope that at the end of the day or tomorrow, we will receive some positive news as far as our January allowance is concerned. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akosa. Emmanuel, the president of the National Service Personnel Association, NASPA. He's been speaking to some of their concerns and also answering some of your questions and ours, which CAF has been kindly reading for us. Thank you so much for reading the messages.
I could have continued. There's a lot of messages here.
We'll deal with it perhaps when we wrap up. We have to hand it over to Valerie to warm it up for us. But I'll give you the opportunity, Mr. Issa, to also make your final submission before we rise, perhaps in a minute.
Yes. So thank you so much. I think that in a very quick manner, I would just want to say thank you to all the national service personnel for their restraint and the patience they have exercised in the face of the delay. And we assure them that management is committed to making sure that the January allowances drop by close of tomorrow into their e-switch account, and whatever step that management needs to take to ensure prompt payment of the subsequent allowances have already been taken. They can be rest assured that the allowances would never go bad. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Armstrong, Issa, Director, Corporate Affairs at the National Service Secretariat, for spending a part of your morning with us, answering our questions and that of our viewing public. We hope to have you back here again, perhaps next time with better news that there's been a 100% increase in allowances for national service personnel, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Thank you so much. God. And thank you for staying with us for this segment. Remember that it's live on GTV Breakfast, a repeat at 11 p.m. every weeknight, and we're live on your screens 5:55 to 10 a.m. every morning. Next on our lineup, we have Valerie sitting down on Your World segment to speak to FAZE, and you'd want to not miss any of those details right after the break. We'll be back.
a brand here. It's crazy, man. Like it is, yeah. There's a beyond the music. Come on. I'm a stress. Do you remember, yeah.
Welcome back, guys. Wezo, miawezo, medekuku miawezo. So I have another proverb in Ewe. It says that for today memuna deo. Well, it literally just means that hitting your foot against a palm tree would not with the palm tree. So guys, we are talking new music, we are talking talent, we are talking fresh teas and some colored hair with talking face. So we're going to talk the new school music. We're going to talk about the Asaka. We're going to talk about Kumasi drill. We're going to talk about like the latest thing to be up to, and it's all right here on GTV Breakfast. But we'll take a quick break and acknowledge quick credit. We'll be back in studio. Here's a quick break.
Tell me, beer.
Emma will worry me. Watch me, you come 1 week, Mr. Oh, now, Buga, nothing.
Senior, name me a new cut down my business is a collapse. I'm out of bounds.
So, take quick credit in car.
Quick credit?
Yes, quick credit. Who Pesica? Eddie Astatia, you may be. Who here be seen Eddie a true good deal. We are government and a private worker. Who Pesica de Atil Hortus? We are Busumi Juma. Who here Sicadia be being tempers. And what you are now, a little some Cassian said, a collateral free loaner, Susu, savings, account opening, and a deposit as MBL. The here say, Wagana card 2022 year, 1 year Juma, now 1 hour young. Who need excuse? Yeah, credit to 03022 00390 and 05969 20833. But see, not quick credit.
came to me, and then we took the break and school, bringing all sorts of responsible for that. The past and on about Asaka boys and so much. So I'm just having somebody from the industry and him being an integral part of the whole. He's going to tell us and everything that's happening in Kumasi. Quick break.
Big Nas Records.
Shit is crazy, man. All night I've been thinking about you, baby.
Video that just went by, it was you by Face GH, and so he's in studio and we are going to be talking to him. Face Akwaba, Heritage Month in Zebeka Pigakra.
Okay, cool.
Nanka me can't be about Esegoma. Both of us can, so let's just stick to the tree and
so me can Spanish kaka.
Okay, Spanish kaka. Heritage Month, one can Ghanaian language and Spanish native. How are you in Spanish, Naminti?
How are you?
Can Spanish now?
Yeah, but my
can Spanish me too. Oh,
so I was saying Heritage Month, so let's
before I even ask you to tell us about the Asaka boys and all the drama that's happening in Kumasi, you there was a concert from dusk till dawn.
Yeah, dusk till dawn pool party.
You pulled the biggest crowd I hear in Kumasi so far.
That's right.
Hey, that's right. Now slow down, slow down. So tell us about the Dusk Till Dawn concert and what's so special about you or other performers that you had on stage with you. How were you? How did you manage to pull that crowd?
Okay, first of all, big shouts to my management, Big Nas Records.
Right.
They made this happen, and the artists from Kwaku Flake, Frimpong, Kempaluta, Kwaku Darlington, Scripty, Bad Governor, a whole lot of people. Big shouts to them. They made it happen. So this is my first official show that I held like last month.
Yes. Wow. And your first official show, you pulled that crowd.
Yeah, sure. You know, let me say I'm a big name in Kumasi. I'm a big name in Kumasi, but not really in Accra. So that's why I'm here right now.
Okay.
So me pulling that number, it's no news.
It's no news in Kumasi.
That's right.
If you're able to pull it in Accra, other parts of Ghana,
that's right,
then you would say that's news.
Exactly.
Amazing stuff. I like that. Okay, so what's the whole confusion about Asaka boys? Who's not part of Asaka boys? And there's Kumasi drill.
Okay.
Give us the 411. Give us the history. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, Asaka is drill music made in Kumasi. And
wait, point of correction. Asaka is what? Drill music
made in Kumasi.
Okay.
Yes.
Drill is not Ghanaian.
I know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I know. So rap is not Ghanaian.
Yeah.
But we have hip life. Yes. So we have the Life Living Records. They are in Kumasi. They are the pioneers of the Asaka music.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but about the division and everything, I just.
So for clarity's sake, so Asaka music is basically drill.
Yes.
Music,
that's right.
But made in Kumasi. So that is what Asaka is. Yes, so guys, if you've seen Asaka on Twitter and social media and you do not know what it is, so Asaka is basically the beats. Drill is a music form. So drill made in Kumasi. So that's Asaka. Okay. So now where's the confusion? Who belongs to Asaka?
Okay.
Who does not?
Big shout out to the Asaka boys, the Life Living Records. I heard the news about separation, about powers and everything, but I haven't really take time to read much about it, yes, but I think they are the pioneers and they want to have their flowers. Yes, and they think people are taking their shine or they are outshining them.
Okay, so
I feel so.
Okay, so Asaka is a group. So the Asaka Boys is a group. So it doesn't mean that any new school artist from Kumasi is an Asaka boy.
No, it's not Asaka boy. Asaka boy is just a group in Kumasi.
Okay, so the whole confusion is that the Asaka Boys do not want anybody else to join their group. Is that
it? Yeah, sure. They have their own circle they want to move with or work with. So yeah, it's like that.
So other artists who are not Asaka Boys, they are not permitted into. But so from what you're telling me, so Asaka is not even Kumasi made. It's just that the Asaka that has
drill
been put
music
on it.
Made in Kumasi.
So drill music
made in Kumasi.
So Asaka Boys have copied drill music, but they've modernized it to sound Kumasi, and they don't want anybody else to be part of it. Something that's not theirs. I thought music was universal.
It's about but it's about ownership. Yeah, and giving them the credit.
So they own the Asaka name.
Very true.
Okay, so great. Okay, so where does the confusion with Archipelago coming here?
Okay, I don't know much about it.
Okay.
Yes, I just heard the news, so I'm here to read about it.
Go and do your research so you can bring us
I've been working
filler.
on my EP, so I don't have much time to be.
Now let's talk about you.
Yeah.
The video that just went by.
Yeah.
That was all you. Tell us about it, man. Tell about how is it doing on the market? What are people's responses to it?
Oh, it's great. You know, I'm a hip hop artist, but I try to do high life Afrobeat. So people were like, "Yo, bro, you're doing a great job," because they thought I was a hip hop artist and I came out with you, so it was like a big thing for them, and it's doing great out there, you know. Yeah, of my status.
Okay. Yeah. If you say that you're a hip hop artist, you're Ghanaian, but you're a hip hop artist, what does that mean, please? I hear a lot of people saying, "I'm a hip hop artist. I'm a hip hop artist."
Yeah.
What does it mean to be a hip hop artist?
Like hip hop is a genre, so you have to like the element of hip hop, the beat, the rap style, the content. It makes you a hip hop artist.
So can you be a hip hop artist but you sing in key?
Sure.
Do essentially, yeah. So can you let us have what do you rappers call it? Freestyle.
Yeah.
Please. But remember we're in Heritage Month.
That's right. So I should do it in tree.
Yeah.
I say when me I grown some minimum and there. Oh yeah, we came, we saw, we contact brother man, we still here today. Came with a new style, a new vibe, when him there, this is Kume. America, they will be a know my name. As I can't be anything the same. 247, na ye jinem, si canon, so this and a regular thing. Where Asaka, almost all my peda, ya ninti, yan, sa, Asaka, that's right.
Okay, Faze, let's get to know you. I mean, apart from showbiz and being in the media and the limelight, who is Faze, the person we don't know?
Faze, okay, real name, Emmanuel Mwadonko. I was born and raised in Kumasi, Eija Zongo.
Edia Zongo?
Eija Zongo.
Eija Zongo.
Yeah, I would take.
Okay.
Yeah, Eija Zongo, and I'm like an SHS graduate.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm a full-time musician. That's right, that's me.
Okay. Are you looking to shell school, or you continue school, or you put it on the side? What's in the pipeline?
I've been a street boy from birth, and even for those graduates working like the national service, I would want them to do the street ways, because I don't depend on the government. I just get paid. It's pay as you go service. But now they are pleading for their own money
It's sad, is it sad?
So, yeah, so maybe they should consider entering the studio and maybe doing some 1 or 2 songs, and they will get money out of it. It could be a part-time job, but
it could be a part-time job. Yeah, yes, I like that. I like that. Any thoughts? I like what you said about that. It's like the national service personnel, they work though, but they don't give. So it's their own money. They're fighting for it. Right. Okay. What are your thoughts on E-levy? Yes.
Okay. I don't have much to say about E-levy, but if the government wants us to pay the E-levy, it should also pay the national service people. So.
Simple as that. If government wants us to pay the E-levy, they should pay the national service personnel, right? What are your thoughts about the music industry in Kumasi? In Kumasi, you said yourself that you're a big artist in Kumasi. But here in Accra, you're probably a rising artist. That's what we call you here in Accra. What are some of the bridges you think we could put across? Not just Accra to Kumasi, maybe to the north and other parts of the country, so that when you come to Accra, you go to the north, you be a big artist that you are in Kumasi. What are some of the structures you think we should put in place?
Okay, we just need the plugs. Like me being here, everyone in Accra
need
will get
the plugs.
Yeah, like me being here, everyone in Accra will get to see me. So if I have like enough platforms to be on, like they'll hear my songs and everything, so it will make it easier for the people, like the average music listeners, to get to know me more. And yeah.
The artists, especially the new school artists from Kumasi, do you see your colleague musicians here in Accra in the south? Do you see them as competition?
Competition? Okay, not really. I would say it's about the institutions here, because in Accra there are lots of TV stations, radio stations, theaters, and a whole lot, and it's not like that in Kumasi. So I think that's the only difference. Sure.
You featured on one of Shatta Wale's songs.
Ahunju Las Vegas.
Ahunju Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Tell me the experience. How was it like working with Shatta Wale? I mean, he's a big artist.
That's right, that's right.
The world over, we know Shatta Wale. So how was it like working with him?
Okay, it was a great feeling, and it still is. Because I go places and they're like, this is the guy who was featured on Ahunju Las Vegas. And you get some privileges. So it was a great feeling. Actually, I was in Kumasi. I dropped my first official song, Money Day. I came to Accra to promote it, so I went back to, I think like he must have heard it on radio, on TV, so he reached out to me and he was like, he liked my style and he wants me to be on the song. So I reached out to my management, and it was a great feeling, because actually I thought it was a lie. So he created a WhatsApp group and added myself, Flake, Paluta, and all them boys. So it was a great feeling, and it still is. And I have a song with Shatta Wale, which isn't out yet. It's on my EP, so just watch out for it.
Okay. Now let's talk the EP. Now that you mentioned that Shatta is on it, you sort of piqued my interest. How many songs are on the EP? Do you have a nice title for it? Yeah,
Blueprint.
6? Yeah. Blueprint. Why Blueprint?
Oh, Blueprint is like the path. Like people were like, okay, so if I saw a hip hop there, and I'm like, yo, there's no blueprint to this. To this thing. There's no blueprint.
You got that right. Your GTV, no language.
There's no blueprint. So. You can do, if it's high life you want to do, you can do it. If it's hip hop, you can do whatever and be out there.
Okay. Songs on that EP. What are the titles of the songs?
I have Yunhumo. I have Moniase. Like, man, we gon' drill till we die. It is in my blood and no lie. 24/7 we rule that 9. Homies out in the block, this is a lie. Say, you that baby show when I say. It's a big tune, and I can't wait to put it out. It's a big tune, a whole lot of tunes.
It has a lot of jabs in there. You know, Ghanaians, we like jabbing songs. So yeah, this song is going to be a hit. It's going to be a hit.
Right. You know, we steady the grounds and we put things together, so it's like that.
Okay. Now tell me about social media and how you use it as an artist.
Okay, I wasn't really a social media person. I was all about writing. So, but in this era, you can say I won't be on social media. Yes, so. I'm trying to use it more like the likes of TikTok. Right now, you see me on TikTok twerking, and that's
you have to draw traffic to yourself.
That's right, exactly. So, just for my music sake.
Right.
So I think I'm getting used to it.
Okay. Are we looking at any upcoming projects? Perhaps an album in the offing?
Oh yeah, sure. And I have an EP coming and a single that's.
When is the EP coming out? The Blueprint, when is it coming out?
In 4 months' time.
In 4 months' time. Yeah. And when is the single coming out?
30th, just this month.
Okay. So I guys,
I really want to talk about it.
Yes, I go on social media trying to do a little research on who my artist, who my guest is, and then I see Midwifery Ghana, and then it has so many engagements.
Yeah.
So what's that about? What's that about?
Can I use this?
Yes.
All right, cool. Thanks. Okay, so I have a song, Judge Jehovah. You played it earlier.
Yes, that's the earlier one.
In the song, it says, "Now miss your mind me more, I gotta make money for my mama. I just wanna go far, far, far away. Me too, if Ghana." But everyone thought it was just serious. But here am I right now saying me too, if Ghana, and everyone is like, "Me too, if Ghana, I'll coin." And me say me catch you, and it's like that. So I dropped a skit for it, and people are loving it.
And then the song is the actual song is gonna come out on the 30th of this month.
Right.
Are you gonna have some sort of soiree? Are you gonna have? How are you going to launch it?
Okay.
Are you gonna do it in Accra? Are you gonna
right.
do it
I'll
on the link? Are you gonna do it on the Zoom?
I'll start from Accra, and it starts today. Like me being on a big platform like this, it starts today. And big shouts to everyone watching. Just go on my platforms, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. It's there. Midwifery Ghana. It's a big tune. It's not even out yet, but it's very big.
So let's have it. Let's have a little of it.
Okay.
Yes. Now.
Like freestyle. Okay. I say, Miss Michelle Bra me bray. I and Apinisua Jojo Adada any bra me bray. I'm Midwifery Ghana. Do watching and I say when who me be a man to Africana. Re interior jeme na Obama ba me pe UK American Canada na Libya control what does so dear mimpo. Interior jeme na Obama ba me pe what I say. So I sat down and Michelle said the name I see all of that. Then this is not politics. No affiliations, no whatever. So this is just fact on the ground. So I put things together and actually it was a prayer. Because interior now, but it suits Ghanaians, like the average Ghanaians. Me personally, I wouldn't say I'm rich, but I have money to spend. So in Kenya I'm a problem, but I look at people on the roadside selling and I put myself in their shoes, and so I have to do something for them, and I want them to hold this down and make it bigger and bigger. I want to be on the VGMAs like everywhere.
Hey, big stages,
that's right.
Soon come. Now let's talk about some of the awards that you've picked up. I know you've picked up 1, 2. Can you tell us a couple about it?
Okay, I told you if it comes to Kumasi music, I'm big. So I took Hip Hop Artist of the Year, and
which event was that? Which event was that? Which award was that?
Ashanti Region Music Awards.
Ashanti Region Music Awards, and you got the Hip Hop Artist of the Year.
Yeah, and then Hip Life Song of the Year, which is Judge Jehovah. Yeah, that's right.
Wow. Amazing stuff. Okay, so we're looking forward to Midwifery Ghana coming out on the 30th of this month.
Yeah.
I
have a skit on it on YouTube. I wish you could play that for me.
Skating. Okay, so our producers are going to, I'm sure they're going to get that for us real quick. We have a skit about Midwifery Ghana. It's happening on the 30th.
That's right.
On the 30th of this month. Okay, tell us about the other songs on the EP while our producers get the skit from Midwifery Ghana.
Okay, I have a whole lot of them, but
you mentioned
the
2.
Ones,
Yes. Which other ones are on there?
When I say it's a big tune, I have Oh Gosh. It's like a whole lot, but I'm taking just 6 out of them.
Okay,
that's right.
Okay, for it. Amazing. Okay, so when you've worked with Shatawale here in the southern part, which other artists have you worked with?
Flo Kingston.
Okay.
Famille.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I had a song, Kumerica, I was on it. The likes of Amado, Jackson. Yeah, and a whole lot of people.
I wish you luck on your journey.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay. I really believe in this journey, and I just want your support, because the difference between myself and Sarkodie is the audience.
Yeah,
Did you get it? Yes. Even if the artist and he or she has the audience, it's just power. Audience is your power. Yeah. So I just need them. Like I really, really need them.
But with the music, the kind of music you're doing, it's just a matter of time. I think I believe.
You know, it sounds different and like different ears. So it wouldn't sound the same, like that's right.
Okay. So what, do you think that maybe you would want to expand maybe your scope, the areas you look at, or maybe to get all sorts of audience to follow you?
Oh, yes, sure. Actually, I told you I'm a hip-hop artist, so I'll be looking into selling my stuff in the UK in the near future. But right now, I'm focusing on Ghana. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Anybody, I know that you said you wanted to say hello to lots of people.
Yeah.
So here's your chance to say hello to them. And also, you can put your social media handles out there.
Okay. Big shouts to GTV for putting me on. This is a big opportunity for selling myself and Midwest Ghana. Just follow me on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok is FazeGH, and the Phase is PHAIZEGH. Big shouts to Big Nash Records, Face Nation, TK, Fluid, and everyone supporting the movement. Crazy man.
Right. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you
for passing through. And so, yeah, we'll definitely play that video. If not today, we'll look for that skit and play.
Oh, yes, I'll take your number and I'll call you because I really wanted to share this video.
Oh, like that's a promise. Tomorrow, our audience know that we don't lie. We'll definitely play that video.
Cool.
Hey,
Thanks
we
so
love what you guys in Kumasi are doing. I like to call you the new school music artist. You guys are doing amazing.
Thanks so much.
Charlie, bring all the pressure to Accra.
Sure.
Give the Accra boys pressure. Give them pressure. So, guys, we've been chatting with FazeGH, and he's a big name. He says himself in Kumasi, but when he comes to Accra, he's a rising artist, and he says he needs the numbers, guys. So go to his social media, follow him, share. That's amazing music, guys. And so if you want to catch a repeat of this show, you can catch the whole show again at 11 p.m. tonight on GTV, and you can also follow all the conversations using our hashtag GTV Breakfast. We are everywhere on social media. We'll see you again tomorrow. Okay, there it comes. The song is about to play. Enjoy, guys.